Hey guys, welcome back to ESL TV for the EPS Germany Winter 2014 CSGO playoffs. We're getting underway now with our second semifinal of the day. It's going to be mousesports up against myKPV. And I'm still joined by the lovely Pansy. We've had a pretty one-sided-ish first semifinal. What's your thoughts on this one now coming into it?
I think it could be worse. Let's be really honest about this. I think it's going to be a good game, but it's all about myKPV and how they can show up, because mousesports are probably one of the, I wouldn't say the only teams here, but one of the more predominant teams who can compete on an international level, who've consistently got decent results on that sort of stage. So they are a very good team. They have a brilliant lineup, and it's down to myKPV to really perform up against them rather than the other way around. I think Mouse can coast to an extent, but if myKPV can maybe do something to upset them, push them off their kind of normal game plan, we might have a good game, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, it's very true, and I like how you point out like they're a team who's participating in all these majors and stuff like that. Like they are the most well-known German team in the entire world. I think Ultimate comes in as like a close second right there. Maybe you could, on a different day you can argue between the two. But they lost last season. They didn't look as strong as they normally did then, and obviously they're going to be coming into this one with a little bit of extra fire, inside of them, trying to like obviously reclaim their glory. I think mousesports is the most winning team in EPS Germany across all the games. Whether it's StarCraft, League of Legends, FIFA, or Counter-Strike,
by some margin as well.
And they have a lot to defend here. I mean, they haven't had the best results lately across the board in anything.
Yeah,
they need to do their name proud.
Yeah, and I think they've got a little to prove from the last time. I think they took it too lightly in the previous finals from last season. And I think they got caught out, and then, the round difference just spirals, and once you get kind of screwed on the economy, it's damn hard to get back in, especially when you have two players who heavily like doing the AWPing, like playing that style. As we've seen, Alu and Chris J, I don't think we need to highlight most of these players.
It's going to be fun to see.
But I'm very much looking forward to seeing both of those AWPing again and seeing how they're performing, because I think we are just getting to the maps right about now, so we can just drop you into my screen real quick so you can see that one going down. And I'm glad to see Dust 2 removed. I think it's nice to see teams getting away from that. Nuke's no surprise, and then probably Cobble and Overpass will probably be joining that, I assume.
I think Cash is definitely going to be left open. mousesports, a team who, actually Overpass can be left in. Wow, Bayonet Inferno. And mousesports, one of those teams who was able to push Virtus Pro, very hard on that map. And we'll see Mirage first, Cash second, and Overpass third. And of course, we had mousesports pick Mirage, and then of course, Cash went over to myKPV, as we'll switch back to us in that one.
Hello. Yeah.
But Mirage, Cash, and Overpass. That one's going to be interesting.
Cash is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to Cash. I think that maybe myKPV can pull something out. Obviously, a very good map, however, for mousesports, as you said. But I think that could be a very interesting to watch.
Yeah, we saw, or we didn't see it, but Dot Pixels took them to overtime, 21-17 on Overpass. So there's on Cash. So there's a possibility, obviously, with something like that happening. I want to see Overpass. With the changes that have happened to it, I love how they've adapted the A site. They made it so you can plant a little bit closer towards the T side. You don't have to commit as deep into the site to get the bomb in there. I love that little bit of a change, not to mention the sign that says you can't boost here.
Yeah, Olaf. No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all of these maps, to be fair. I'm absolutely loving casting this. So, Mirage, I think it's a great map for the double AWP on, for one. I think that's going to work out very nicely for Mouse. I'm curious to see how myKPV try and change that around. This was a good map previously for mousesports in just alone the EPS. They always had a very good showing on this. I think that I'm looking forward to Chris J. Last time around, this was played out. Basically, before Alu joined this lineup, it was very much Chris J being a very active AWPer, actively searching out the peaks and the picks. However, when Alu came into play, Alu kind of played that more aggressive style, the more kind of actively searching, and Chris J played the more passive AWPer. So I'm kind of curious if they've stuck with that. I haven't kept too closely up to date with the way mousesports play. But I'd be interested to see if they still run that same style and if it still kind of works for them.
That's the thing. I mean, on a map like Mirage, when you do have two really strong AWPers, like they can really throw you for a mix and change things up, obviously, into that one. But one thing I love about Mirage is how set everything is in terms of like smokes hitting that A side. I love all the set smokes in jungle and stairs and CT spawn. I mean, I'm playing with you every once in a while. You get a couple of those down. I still don't even know exactly how to throw them in that one, but it's always so beautiful to see a team execute onto the A site so perfectly, and it leads up to that CT side to improvise. How do you want to change things up? Maybe you want to counter smoke them somewhere, or maybe you want to play from a different position and kind of maybe throw them off guard.
Yeah, it's going to be a big test here, I think, and I'm hoping myKPV have that locked down, it's a good way to lock out a double AWPer if you can get those really nice executions. We're seeing some beautiful adaptations coming through from some teams. I think everyone remembers the Fnatic style smoke to the connector from B side and things like that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the T sides can pull out here in the way of tactics. CTs, I find T side more interesting personally. I think it displays a lot more towards how the teams are doing. I'm not sure if myKPV would really want to start on T side. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what they can bring. However, they're a good bunch of players. They got here for a reason. It's not like you can just waltz in towards the EPS Finals. But I don't know. For me, I'm still not too sure how they're going to perform. It's the first time I'll be really paying attention to how they play. And it's going to be a tough opponent to come up against. mousesports and not to be taken lightly on any account.
And the real question for me in this one is, as I think we both agree, mousesports definitely the favorite in this one, is whether or not mousesports are on form right now, whether or not they're kind of prepared into the situation. And as you can see, myKPV on your screen, just kind of getting things focused up and getting ready as I fix a couple of settings. But, mousesports, are they on form? Are they performing like they should be? Like we saw them, so long ago. They just haven't really been able to reach the level that I think we originally saw them at. Back when they were party daddlers, I remember we saw them, in Dust 2 up against Copenhagen Wolves, and they're able to beat them there in like an overtime. We saw some really genuinely great play out of them, really good as a team. Obviously, a couple of roster swaps coming in, eventually, but they haven't hit that peak yet again. I feel like they've just been kind of coasting in this kind of like suboptimal rate, and they need to have something to kind of spark some life into them.
We'll wait and see. I'm not sure. I think that their international performance has been pretty solid. I want to see how they compete against the German scene, because the thing with the German scene is everyone knows each other. Everyone's played these games with each other for a long time. They're aware of how each other play, and even as individuals, they'll understand those small nuances that other players may have that you wouldn't necessarily know just from watching a demo or trying to do a little bit of an anti-strat. So you see Mouse just going to send themselves down there, they're just having a little chat outside. No real surprise to that, but I'm very excited to see the double AWP. I'm very excited to see Alu playing. I'm a big fan of his play style. Chris J on the screens right there. He was in good spirits this morning, so I think they're pretty happy and they're pretty ready for this one, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like a revisit to them for how they started up. I mean, these two teams, or actually pretty much a lot of the German teams, have been playing in EPS Germany for years now.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of like
it's their bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of want to go into this and really show that you're still the top German team. You want to prove to everyone out there that we're the top German team for a reason. And obviously, we're going to be able to find out in just a little bit here as we do kick this one off soon. But in terms of star players, you had Chris J, Alu kind of highlighted for the op. I want to know your thoughts in terms of the regular rifles coming into this. So is there any kind of player that really stands out for you?
There's a fair few on that side. It's Tabson has his moments. Every single player here has their moments of being very good. That's the thing. Like they're all very good players individually. It's how they play as a team. That's pretty much it. You can see there's a massive crowd behind them as well. They are clearly the favourites here by some margin. I can imagine CSGO Lounge agrees with that as well. So for me, I think this is pretty much what can myKPV do. Can they have a good individual stand-up performance? We saw that while .pixels did find a bit of a weakness on Inferno on B, and they kept stressing that one. They kept pushing it, which worked very well. I want to see if they can do that again now. I want to see if, maybe myKPV can find a little bit of a weakness there and find a way back in, because mousesports are a very hard team to find that against. They're not necessarily unorthodox, but they have players that can pull off those obscenely ridiculous situations that it's very hard to bank on.
And also to think about this, you get complacent when you're on the top. You're not obviously developing new strats. You're not kind of maybe paying as much attention to these new and upcoming teams as you should. But myKPV, they can sit there like, all right, well, we can watch back, a replay that you did last week, because obviously you're playing the national scene. We can see exactly how you're going to go, counter or anti-strat you completely, and then throw you off guard. And if you're not, being careful as mousesports, then you could run into that problem and maybe not even getting through into the grand finals, which they were able to last year, and not to mention numerous times they've been able to win it before. Yeah,
there's always that factor. It's very easy to anti-strat someone at the top, as you mentioned. It's certainly going to be a factor here, but it's how much homework did myKPV do, and with a team who's so individually talented, will it matter? So I think we are just about getting ready for that knife. And just to take you through the lineups, I'll take you through myKPV's. I'll leave my dearest Jason to take you through the beautiful mousesports. But three-man Johnny, Scrunk, Otto, and Jensen. And obviously for mousesports, they have
Nookie, Chris J, Tabson, Alu, and the man that always gives us a tough time, because we say it so differently, Legia. One of the two. Maybe even those two are wrong.
Yeah, we're probably both wrong. But yeah, knife round. CT&T, once again, down to the team's decision there, prerogative towards if they like it or not. It looks like maybe myKPV will get signed choice, which is a brilliant start for them. They definitely need that, so they'll get to pick whichever side they feel most comfortable on. And it looks like we'll be going in for the switch. So they fancy starting on CT. So hopefully they get a strong showing here. I'm looking at mousesports, see how they've developed, how they like to play this one out, how they're going to go forward. A little loud there, damn.
Yeah, we did obviously see the guys talking in chat saying that the audio was a little bit too low, so we did turn it up a little bit for you guys.
We turned it up.
We pay attention.
Scoreline production. Prediction.
Prediction?
Yeah, words are hard.
Overall on the map or in this
on
half?
this map.
Okay. I want to give it mousesports 16-7.
16-7?
I have hopes for myKPV starting over on that CT side. That sound, you're making me regret this. But either way, we're kicking off here the first half of our first map here in this best of 3 of our second semifinal of the day. Winner of this goes on to play against Planet Key Dynamics. And let's see, a straight push towards the B site out of the bomb, and 4-man pushing towards middle.
Straight up, sure we go, and Johnny will be on the receiving end of a hell of a lot of Glocks and goes down very quickly. The bomb in the hands of Legisha, making its way through those B apartments, and he does go down, so the bomb should in theory be up there. Oh, it did just drop down, so... Or did it? No, I don't think it did. But regardless of that, it doesn't really matter. There's only 2 stand for the CT side, and this has been a bit of a brute force, to say the very least. The bomb isn't even being toyed with yet by mousesports. They feel rather comfortable, to say the least, I can imagine, as just Scrunk and Otto are in this one. No armor, and, well, 1 flash and 1 smoke, and Nookie around the backside, catching Otto off, and Scrunk now left to a 1v4. He's got pressure just about everywhere, and it looks like mousesports will be picking up the first round. Chris J picking up the double and taps him with the triple.
That was a fairly clean round for them. Chris J, Nookie, and Alu took no damage from that one, and obviously Legisha was the only man to get taken down, but a strong start for mousesports here, kind of what you expect over on that T side, and now we're going to find out, will myKPV go for a cheeky buy-up at all? And it looks like they won't invest into armor here, just a couple of P250s, a couple of 5.7s as well.
And a UMP.
Why not? It's a lot of money you get for those, and the MP7 as well, but here we go. It looks like a couple of set smokes, a couple of set flashes towards the A site, and there will be 1 man actually pushed up apartments and 1 man in the back of site to receive this, as you can see. They did smoke middle.
Yeah, strange smoke there. Not sure why. Maybe I'm missing the point, but it doesn't matter, as it looks like mousesports have got their opening in here, but Scrunk has got a great position with that 5.7.
Well, he gets taken down by Chris J at the end of things, but Legisha with a nice opening frag does open things up onto Otto here, and now Legisha, as you can see, or Johnny trying to push in through the smoke, trying to make something happen. But again, the set smoke so difficult to really peek through. He does maybe catch a glimpse of Legisha, but Nookie gets the kill in a 3-man. And now Johnny and Jensen, the last 2 alive here, as you can see off to the side. Legisha will pick up the kill, and he will be dropped now by Johnny. So making it a little bit expensive, taking down 2 here. Now he's 1-on-3 with a P250, and he will be killed in the end by Tabson. So early start here for mousesports, 2-0 lead. And now myKPV, now I'm curious, are they no for any armor, or are they just going to straight up save here for that third round?
I think they should skip on the armor. Just, yeah, P250s. Basically because, 1, mousesports got away with every single rifle. They got plants in 2 rounds. I don't think you're going to be able to stop these guys. By this point, mousesports basically have everything they want in their arsenal, and they can go for the full executions. And I think we might be seeing that all in A play. However, they haven't got the set smokes. I think we might see that mid smoke. Oh no, it's the smoke from Chris J coming in towards CT, I believe. Is the only one being placed down for now. We might see a couple more coming through in the end, but it's going to be a nice A execution. It will allow the CTs to start stacking though, but then again, those rifles are so potent, especially on this side.
Oh, these counter flashes coming in. We already have rotates coming in from connector. They're already all here. As you see, Alu pick up the first frag on Otto, and Legisha and Alu picking up another one. Tabson finally gets on the scoreboard here, and Chris J as well. No one going down. A perfect round out of the T side here at mousesports, and they have their early 3-0 lead. Now the question comes, can they stop Johnny with this op? And will Johnny be able to really contest any of this, or at least lock down that middle section? But then again, mousesports, have they gone middle? Just the pistol round.
They haven't really needed to do much. They had rifles, they had enough for the smokes, and enough to execute on towards A perfectly. I think Chris J probably will do the same smoke or the one towards mid, just to kind of keep them on their toes, and let's see if Johnny can be good in mid with that AWP. Doesn't spot anything out early on, and you can see the delayed play coming out from the rest of mousesports through towards mid, just waiting on that smoke to come in towards that mid window, and they can start their work up here. And I like the read, but Johnny not holding window anymore. He's going to go towards connector. This could hurt a hell of a lot. He
was smoked out, but he picks up the first frag on a Tabson, so it does give him a little bit of a lead here. Man advantage in this one. Nookie pushing through connector with Chris J, and Scrunk right behind him picks up an easy kill on a Chris, and we'll push into connector, but one spot up the man that's right there. Nookie gets the return kill. Now it is a 3-on-4 here. As you can see, Otto and Shadow just trying to bide his time here, and Johnny pick up another kill. There's a man off to his side. He gets taken down by Nookie, and now it's all about that man in Shadow as he gets another. Nookie picking up 3 so far in this round. He could potentially pull off the ace as 3-men, and Jensen are the last 2 remaining. One over towards short, and one just ninja in the back of sight.
And I'm interested if they expect 3-men to be here already. And Jensen doing great work from short, then finding Nookie, and Legisha is pretty much in a near-on impossible situation. I don't think he's aware that 3man's still here, but he's just about slipped into connector. If he can maybe work out where 1 is and just single him out without having to challenge both. Did he fake out enough of the time?
He thought he was going jungle, but he actually went into connector and sat.
Peek comes out. Nice little work there from Legisha, though. Getting the tags, he's been able to at least single out 3man, so now he's down to the 1v1. This is more than possible. He's got the HP, he's still got a flash, and near on full armor. He could just go for the peek here, spots out Jensen. He can't back up just yet. Cheeky little flash to the right, gonna peek out towards Says and gets it! Legisha turning the 2v1 into his favor and claiming it. I'm surprised myKPV allowed him to dominate that situation so well.
Oh, it was just, I feel like there's a little bit of hint of luck in that one. With Legisha just walking in connector instead of jungle, he thought that's exactly where he went, and it threw off the man to rotate back into CT spawn and completely punish him for that one. 3man, unfortunately, just missing out on him just for a split second. But either way, mousesports got a little bit of a scary little round right there. But now we can see a 4-man stack towards the A site, the 5th man rotating around towards middle. And mousesports have to be careful yet again. They have those nades onto auto.
They expect this as well. They knew someone might push up. They knew they might be stacked, but can they now deal with them as Johnny peeks out with that P250, gets 1, but goes down, but 3man comes in, even though with all those nades being piled into him, they've made this expensive. But now Scrunk, 1v1, he doesn't have an AK yet. I think he knows where Nookie is. Can he get this? He comes, oh, beautifully done! Turning it around on the eco. The 4-man stack towards the A site pays off. And even with those nades, even with the play coming out from mousesports, they were able to turn it on its head, and that was huge. First round on the board for myKPV.
And Johnny coming up big with that first frag to really open things up and give them a little bit of momentum into that one. They do have an op now in the hands of Johnny. They have an AK as well for Skronk, and the rest are M4s here. But Alu and Chris J double op going head-to-head in middle here. And it looks like Johnny will get the better of Nookie, and he will go for the repicks. Now they have their middle control, and Skronk, look at him. He's pushed up. He can get a perfect shot. Gets flashed in his way. He's going to start to push in. Gets a kill on a Tabson. And he will back away. They pick up 3 kills. They're playing it safe. They're playing this one smart here. And myKPV, after losing 4 straight, are starting to look like the team that we wanted to see show up.
That was really nicely done. I don't think they actually caught a glimpse of Skronk then jumping into mid. I don't think they would have hung around that close if they had, but nicely done. Legisha has just kind of like nipped across mid without being spotted. 3man is still on short though, so nothing too much to be worried about. Alu watching for the cheeky peek as the smoke comes out as Johnny tried to catch that second before it plumed, but Alu was going to punish for that one. So now 2v4. If they keep peeking like this, Alu's just going to keep this up. They need to learn to sit on these sites because this is a dangerous man to do this to. Legisha waiting on the peek from the back of A, and now Alu going to have to open up the site.
Well, this is going to be tough, but again, like I said, if they peek him, if they underestimate and don't respect this man, he will punish you for it. He's already gotten 2 so far in this round, looking for number 3. And he will have 1 man in B halls, 1 man in back of sight towards bench. And they usually helping him push up. 30 seconds to go. Alu will be taken down by 3man though. They usually going to push in, but gets taken down from B halls. And myKPV pulling out a second round here. And honestly, credit to them. That was such a phenomenal play in middle for Johnny to just not respect mousesports too much to not peek, to take him down, and then to have Skronk there to pick up another kill as well.
Yeah, it's a hard situation to be in, especially when you've got players like Alu, you've got Chris J who like to AWP on this map. It's going to be a tough one. But Johnny just holding his nerve and doing the damage, which he knows he can do. So nicely done. Re-challenging on mid, nothing to be found there as we have 3-man stack in towards Palace, 2 through A main. And myKPV just need to keep distance, which they're doing. They might send... Ooh, Skronk getting a little closer. It might be dangerous to come in, but he has the support from Otto, and it should be a cleanup. But Skronk's so low, needs to back out and leave it to the others to clean up the rest.
As you can see, a bomb being thrown towards the site, but not obviously planted here just yet. Nades still raining in. So Tabson pushing straight in on 3man, gets a kill, gets an M4 as well here. They could turn the shot. Nookie even picks up a kill on the auto, and now it's a 2-on-3 with Skronk on 5 HP. Now Molotov going to come in. Not going to burn, seems anyone here so far. But again, the bomb still just sitting down. Nookie even rotating around towards middle here. Trying to get a little bit of a connector push.
Yeah, that molly pushed the 2 back in connector a little deeper. It might give Nookie enough time to get around, but Tabson needs to stay alive, and he's done just that, taking down Skronk. These 2 will be spotted. Nookie needs to slow it down, play carefully. He can catch Johnny out, but I'm not about Jensen. He'll probably get 1 in the next exchange. Holding his nerve now, walking around the back. If they turn this, it's going to be huge. He gets the first. That's Johnny down, and now just Jensen left in a 1v2.
And this is a round you cannot afford to lose when they were ecoing. The bomb gonna get planted here. Jensen has to push in towards the site, or he could be flanked around. And Nuki going straight for the push in towards CT spawn here. tabseN just has to stay alive. He already did it so far in this round. And he will get taken out by Jensen, but will the defuse come in? And he's gonna go straight for it, because right now, look at this. Nuki's nowhere to be seen. And they will get the round somehow at just the bare ends of it. And Nuki just gonna save the P250, or maybe look for a gun here in the meantime.
He was looking for
and
that all.
That was so well done by mousesports, but myKPV, I have to say, got so lucky right there that Nuki kind of went for the long rotate around towards B again.
Yeah, if he'd just like hung around mid or just in underpass a little longer, he could have done it. But 2020 vision, we get X-ray and all that good stuff. But still, we are seeing the ult back in the hands of chrisJ. He's going to be picking that one up rather than Alu. Maybe Alu just feels a little more comfortable running with the AK as well. So this needs to be a carefully thought out round by mousesports. They don't have all the money in the world to be messing around with, so they want to get a clean round here. The last couple have not been clean, even though they've gotten close every now and then. Pop flash out towards mid. Does get met with some resistance there, as we do see already. tabseN down to 16 HP. And I like the double stacking towards connector. As long as they can pull this one off and they keep the sites locked down. The only issue being, if Alu can pick towards A, maybe pressure them from connector, he could be in trouble. But there is a player waiting, Otto. So if Otto doesn't get caught out, this could be a very hard round for Mouse.
That spot, though, he can be pop flashed so easily, and chrisJ will unfortunately miss his first shot onto short here. And we'll have a couple of people to back him up with, but Scrunk gonna flash as well. chrisJ picks up the kill on a Johnny, and Nuki gonna push straight through the smoke here into his death, and that's the one. Why would you push up the position all alone? And Scrunk just rearranging where he is, and we did have Alu pick up the kill on Otto, who was just kind of sitting out there in the middle of A.
So now it's about the other two players here on the myKPV side. They have to support Scrunk in some way. Stop one of the angles being pushed, because tabseN's about to peek from the left. He needs short covered, and no one was there. Jensen didn't spot out tabseN, and he's got to hit that shot. He does do it, bring it to a 2v2, but chrisJ and Alu, the two AWPers, one with the AWP as well, still alive. Alu finds Threeman, and Jensen falls to chrisJ. And not a clean round, but mousesports win.
Look at that, Alu with 3 kills, chrisJ with 2. And one thing we never really talk about too much is the fact that if you have a team that double ops like that, that's so expensive. That's so much money to invest. That means you're going to be on eco rounds a little bit more, unless you're going to force them back onto the AKs. But either way, they have the money now to make it work. As you can see, chrisJ going to maintain the op another round. And over on this side for myKPV, going to go with the 5.7s and the P250s here. And they have been successful on it before, over towards that A site. But they're not going for the 4-man or the 5-man stack this time. And mousesports just kind of buying a little bit of time, waiting to see if anyone does push them.
Yeah, it worked out last time, and it might work out again. 3 through mid, 3 kills come in. Jensen and Threeman with Scrunk going to be taking these boys down. Alu falls. We've got finally a bit of backup from Lagisha, but it's too little too late. He's got 3 players all in front of him, and a turnaround for myKPV. Their pressure through mid is sublime. They don't care that chrisJ's AWPing. They don't care at all. They push straight in, and twice now, mousesports have been called out by that.
Those reads are so damn good. I mean, even though they mousesports did know they did that 4-man stack on A just a couple of rounds prior, but to kind of push it through middle this time with 3 men, phenomenal play out of them. And now mousesports, they have to be careful. 5-4, yes, they're in the lead right now. Yes, they're on T side of Mirage, but they are up against a tough team here. As we can see, a 4-man push over towards B, sorry, 3. And 1 man just watching towards middle here. And Alu again, solo man through A palace, and tabseN through underpass. He's going to be spotted out here.
Yeah, Johnny might have an idea. This worked out almost last time. They can probably predict that Alu was going to peek out, and Otto was aware of that, because that's pretty much what happened last time. So already Scrunk peeking around finding Lagisha, and this is what nearly caught out myKPV before, when the bomb was dropped here in connector, but they've kind of worked it out. They understand maybe how Mouse likes to play this, but with 2 left, chrisJ and Nuki, they're just going to try and get a gun if they can, but it's certainly going to be difficult as chrisJ, sadly enough, does go down without even spotting Scrunk. And a clean round for myKPV, bringing it back to 5-5. And this game is really damn close now.
It is, and I think I had a, 16-7 scoreline prediction for this one, and now I'm feeling really bad about that.
The money's not great either for Mouse here. We've got a Galil in the mix, and probably not the exact buy-up they'd want. Just a bit of armor with Nuki, not even head armor. Enough smokes though for an A execute. I think they'll go for a full A.
Yeah.
Get the smoke early in from chrisJ towards CT. That one towards mid connector that dropped a little early. But last time around, we saw the AWPing play of Johnny really turn this one around. So if he hasn't spotted them in mid, I'm curious if he's going to swiftly realize that this is going to be a play. The smokes are coming in. This should be the push.
Here we go. Molly coming as well. tabseN opens up the site here on the Scrunk. And look at that. Nuki going straight into the fire. And look at a fantastic shot onto Leisure, dropping down from A Palace here. Is Otto going to be taken down, but not before getting them very, very low here. And 3-man Johnny. A 2-on-3 yet again here. Johnny with the op on the stairs. Could come out big here if he can spot out chrisJ. Or maybe someone else, but 3 men pushing in. He has been hurt here. And this is going to be a tough retake. Now Molly comes in. Johnny missing the shot onto tabseN, though. And 3-man even going for the incendiary grenade as well here. Alu picks up the kill onto Johnny. Now 3-man in a 1-on-3 here. They know exactly where he is. This is going to be so difficult to pull off here, and he will be taken down by Tabson. Finally, mousesports coming back on the scoreboard, and look at that. Tabson with 3, Alu with 2. It's more of like a 2-man effort every round they win than really like a 5-man.
I was interested to see if then Alu was actually going to stick with the AWP. It does seem as though they like to give Chris J the AWP on the T side. Haven't seen Alu AWPing.
Yeah, that was what we said, I think. Chris J always runs it on the T side, and Alu runs it on the CT for some reason on this map.
We'll see if they stick with it. This is the change-up, though. They're actually leaving Chris J to AWP from Palace. He hasn't done this yet. Normally it's just Alu soloing in here with the AK, so maybe they're going to try and catch out Otto, who's been playing Shadow or just kind of tucked into sight. Maybe try and get a pick towards mid, because those stairs, the presence there has been pretty darn good. But they're missing out on the CT smoke that Chris J brought, so maybe feeling that that's not necessary and they can just kind of wing it off a smoke towards stairs and maybe one towards jungle. We'll have to wait and see if they can open this up because Otto's still in position here.
I think they heard Chris J going for the second zoom in here. Otto going to push in. And we'll get flashed in as well here, but Chris J picks up the kill on Johnny, so a nice opening, comes in. And the bomb, and actually 2 men are actually rotating towards B here in the meantime, so trying to pull an extra man towards A site.
Mid-smoke. They could be going... I'm not sure where they're taking this. A mid-smoke there for no reason? I'm kind of curious.
Well, they got 45 seconds to work with here. And Olo has rotated around as well. Looks like they will be... Well, 35 seconds. They've got to be going for a move soon. They've got to hurry up.
Nuki's still there. They're trying to keep as many players still by A. They've got the overmatch. They've got 3 players pulled over here from the CT side. Chris J constantly peeking them off, but Jensen has to go down quickly if Mouse wants this execution, and he does. Nicely done there. They should easily get this bomb down. As 3 minutes locked out, they're going to probably take Kitchen pretty easily. As Nuki finds Otto, both sides open.
Trapped.
Nice 3-2 execution. It could have got undone if maybe myKPV went a little bit more aggressive and found out only 2 players were still by A. Then they could have rotated. But still, I think that's just nicely played out then by mousesports, falling back to that 3-2 split. But then again, it's dangerous to just expect to take down that one player. Jensen could have held them completely on that side.
Yeah, if he got one nice kill, maybe a nice flash as well, that could have been completely bad for mousesports considering the time that they had left here. But look at this again. myKPV on the save. The 257s, 2 P250s. Looks like they might be going for a push straight into B. Oh, they're going for the cheeky boost into sight, and then we'll probably leave them there and send everyone else in.
It might work.
Oh no, they're going for the 3. So they're actually going to stack a man inside sight and go for the quick rotate around. They're not going to expect him in here. And look at this, Scrunk. Unfortunately, not connected with the 5-7 on these shots this time. 3 men trying to help out his teammate as well, as Jensen has let his position be known, and he gets taken down. And unfortunately, that boost not going to work out. And Otto, last man alive, looks like he will get taken down from the Geisha. So, there we go. 8-5 now. And mousesports are starting to get on a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, and they've got banked now for days. They've, a good couple of mollies in here. They can keep doing these B executes if they want to. They're still running with a singular AWP. They could have afforded 2 quite comfortably then. But, if they're comfortable, they're happy. Why not just stick with this? 8-5, as you said. We're finally seeing a nice fully built up CT side. We're seeing a 1-man split over towards B. Just Chris J lurking, maybe trying to open up, allow for the rotate to come in. He's going to be smoked off pretty early on. And these guys are probably going to go for the late A if they do decide to go for it. As you can see, Tabson just waiting out with the smoke there towards CT. I think Nuki's probably going to be going for... Where are you, Nuki? I guess that
he's just
could be the
pre-turned for a flash.
No, you can easily line up for a stairs or a CT smoke from here. Not sure if he's going to go for it. I think they're waiting to see if Chris J can get that pick, basically. Let him roam a little, hold the push. The only danger is, obviously, that mid's completely open. But then again, would you ever want to push that as a CT player, just expecting it? We do see that 3 players are still kind of watching mid as well. They've got Johnny here. They've got Scrunk close by. They have to worry too much, but it's going to come down to the wire here for mousesports. They're going to have to go for a really nice execution if they want this. And the one danger that I thought may be an issue was Chris J here. He could maybe get some good presence onto mid. He'll pop flash through. If he can kill the guy on short and then just keep pressure on towards connector, but I think the smokes coming in are going to force them back towards side, but the molly holding them up, that could really slow down the execution, but it will buy time for Chris J to come around. This could still work out very nicely for Mouse, but with only 20 seconds left.
I think he's just made his way through. They're going to molly off towards CT spawns while the smoke's completely blocking the CTs. You can see them jumping across Otto, though, towards CT spawn. Actually, Nuki get a team kill on a Thompson. They're a little bit unfortunate for him, and Johnny's holding them back. 13 seconds to go here. They need to get the bomb down.
Yeah, they certainly do. mousesports are waiting for that extra pick. Chris J makes it there. Legisha finds Johnny, but Scrunk in the site gets found in the end. And Legisha saving the day with only 2 to find. 3 seconds left. The bomb is yet to go down. just planted in the last second. And now 3-man 1v2. Gets the first to take it from a 1v3. But Chris J denies. And thank God Chris J got around there in the end. He did some great work picking up 2 then and getting the scoreline at 9-5.
Scrunk right there. If he was stuck in the site, and he was being a little bit of a ninja right there, and he killed the bomb planner trying to buy enough time so they couldn't get the bomb down, but just a split second was enough for them. And either way, 9-5, not a bad scoreline here for myKPV, at least from what, in terms of predictions we had for this one.
Did he spot the player going to underpass
No,
then?
I don't think he did.
This could really hurt. But Legija had an idea and checked it.
Yeah, so catching him out right there does give him a man advantage here in this round. Not to mention a lot of guns here on the side of myKPV. 2 5.7s, a FAMAS, and an M4. And Jensen this time pushed up apartments here. He should be able to stall him for a little bit longer, but in the meantime, mousesports again, just playing this one slow. Not in a hurry just yet. And the amount of times that they've finally committed to a site with like sub 30 seconds left has been pretty crazy here. Looks like they might do it again. Now a minute left on the clock. And you can see 1-man in connector, 1-man back towards CT spawn. And Jensen going for a little bit of a cheeky flash here, even with the help of a teammate. There's 2 men off towards his right, though, and he will be taken down here. Ala picks up that frag, and now 3 men all by himself on the B site, trying to hold on to this one. Oh, he messes up the flash. He flubs it, and now he's going to be able to pick up 1 kill on Ala. Those switches over the AK. Can he get any more? As Tabson gets the kill as he's falling out of window. Now Strunk rotating in from short.
Sadly enough, he actually predicted it completely right. Just whiffed the shot in the end, but Scrunk gets a nice bit of a headshot towards Nuki, opening up short as Otto might be in trouble. Chris J lurking off towards the left. Chris J just backs out as Legija's Molotov will find Scrunk. And now 1v3. Otto's going to go down. Nicely held in the end by mousesports. And those last-minute plays towards the site, their execution is just so good at it.
And I want to give a lot of credit to myKPV, though. They pulled back so many strong rounds from rounds that they shouldn't have maybe have won. You know, a lot of eco rounds coming in, a lot of turnarounds last second. And always see in this one, you know, what? That's not English. Anyways, but in this one, I mean, mousesports just proven they're the stronger team, winning on the harder half, and I'll be going towards the CT side here. And you know, it's so funny because we always say this, but it's going to come down to like kind of the pistol round for them. Like if mousesports get the pistol round, you're looking at like a 13-5 score line, and that's a lot of momentum because then they can get the ops in place that they want if they want to double op again with Chris J and Alu. So myKPV, let's see if they can pull off a pistol round here.
It's not going to be easy, but the T side doesn't, you know, it does allow for it still to work. So hopefully they can pull something out of the bag. They seem very competent on their pushes when they actually went aggressive through mid, you know, jumping out a window. I think they picked up like 2 or 3, I think 2 rounds, just pushing mid like that. So I want to see them do it again. I think they've got the potential to. Scrunk playing very well, Jensen as well, as you can see on the scoreboard there. 12-11, 10-11. Tabson, Chris J, everyone doing well, though, for mousesports. That's the thing. They don't need just one player to step up. They've got everyone. Yeah,
very true. And I take a little look at the players really quickly here as well. As you can see, mousesports just talking some things over during this break. And again, you know, look at myKPV. They're dead silent. It's either to me that says they know exactly what they're going to do coming into this one, or they're a little bit frustrated. But I would say it's definitely going to be the former of the two. Yeah,
let's bear in mind, mousesports are a clear favourite by a long margin. If they can keep this sort of performance up from myKPV, they can't be upset by this. I'd still say they maybe would have wanted 1 or 2 more rounds, ideally, on the CT side, but, you know, they got to choose their side first. Maybe they feel that as long as they get enough of a buffer, they can go into their stronger side and do even better. So that might be how they're feeling about this. I'm not too sure. We'll wait and see what they can bring on the next half. Just mousesports are ready, it seems. We are just waiting on myKPV just to finish off, making sure they're, you know, completely comfortable with this. But performance-wise alone, quite a quiet game overall for Chris J. I know 13-7 doesn't sound quiet, but for him, you know, he's normally quite active. I want to see if they do that, you know, beautiful AWPing on short that we do see Chris J switching up to. Or Alu maybe doing the same. We'll have to wait and see if they get to that point, bearing in mind, if they do pick up this pistol very early on, it's going to be quite a quick game. But let's find out as we are going live into the second half of the first map.
All right, so let's see. myKPV, where are they going to go with? And 1 man towards A. It looks like he's got a smoke and a flash. Maybe kind of trying to stall him a little bit. Or maybe trying to fake something. But look at this. mousesports, 3 men on short.
They're expecting kind of a mid play, which is correct. This could go really badly wrong. And they've walked it the whole way. So, as you can see, this could go very well or very wrong. We do have one player just kind of walking today going, guys,
he's done the fake, but no one's there.
Yeah. Like, he's flat up in, but the guys over on B now need to be super cautious because they know something's up. Or at least they should do. And now look around the back. We've got 2 players coming in from the backside. Chris J's already found one, and they're going to start that
They
push
went the wrong way!
Coming through, and oh my god, they did go the wrong way. Completely through the middle. This might still work out for myKPV.
And there's a man in CT spawn as well here. Scrunk, Odo both picking up a kill apiece. Alu trying to get a kill on the cross, but he will be not really connect on anything here. Scrunk able to occupy a little bit of time here and help pick up the kill. The Gija and Tabs in the last 2 remaining. Johnny going to be pushing in. Jensen picks up that kill. Now Tabs in the last man alive. Gets a kill on a Jensen. Can he get the last 3 though? That's the question. As he will spot the men towards stairs, but not connecting the shots just yet. And that little bit of a trick play was phenomenal to see, to be honest. And Tabs now pushing in. Going to go for the Kelly shot. Won't hit it. And Scrunk will close that one out here. But the fake they threw flashes and smokes towards B halls and went straight down underpass to get towards A. That was fantastic.
I'm really surprised that worked out. That was insane stuff. Like, mousesports played it perfectly to a point, and then it just completely 180'd. I'd be absolutely gutted if I was mousesports. We are seeing the double scout coming in. Legisia and Chris J running those 2. Curious to see how they pan out. Obviously, the CZ not to accompany it anymore. We used to see the CZ constantly for this one. And nice little CT smoke going to come out. Might lock off at least one of the scout players, but interested to see where they're playing, actually. So Legisia just hopping over by B, and Chris J. That's going to start hurting, and there we have it. A man who made a name for himself on this gun. On Dust 2, but still, he's done a nice bit of an opener. Keeping it at 4-4, but Tabson is quite tagged up. This is going to be very hard if mousesports want to pick up any more, especially with the amount of smokes coming in.
Tabson does get a kill on Odo, though, with that 7 HP, and you can see Chris J does have vision of that bomb. Legisia pushing up as well here to help out with that scout. And Chris J able to get another kill here. Tabson trying to buy a little bit of time towards stairs. You can see both men are back towards T.
It's a dangerous peak to make.
This is terrible. A ramp, and Tabson will pick up another kill here, and they're going to go for the defuse, but he won't have a kit. He's going to have to contest this one. Wow, Chris J, 3 kills, 2 headshots, and like you said before, that's the gun that he made his name on.
Yeah, I can imagine these guys were absolutely terrified, and I'm curious as to why the hell they held on a ramp against a scout, especially a scout of Chris J's caliber. That guy is a beast on that weapon. You allow him to come back in. Legisia had one as well, bearing in mind, and they'll just crack open these retakes so easily, and they did just then. They've turned this early. They're now on 11-6, and they've got money to kind of play around with here. They've got Famous in the play, but you can see Legisia's pretty set already. Got himself a Molly in here, an AK picking it up from last round, and now we're seeing the Tech-9 play over towards B, and that Molotov could really hurt them if they go for an all-in push.
It looks like they will be going for something like that. As you can see, slowly making their way through here. Legisia on catwalk with the AK. This is going to be almost easy pickings for him, but you can see there's a lot of investment into this one. Chris J with the scout still going to spot them crossing by. And you can just see Johnny right there. He's just scared to push out a little bit further, but here come the smokes. Here come the flashes as well. And here we go. The push is going to happen. Chris J getting smoked out completely. A fantastic way to block him off. Legisia with a fantastic shot as well on a 3-man right there. And we'll get charged on a catwalk, but he picks up a second. Odo finally ends his spree. But now they got the bomb down. They've got 3 people alive here up against 4. And they got the smokes to last a little bit longer here.
myKPV still have a chance in this. The smokes have slowed down. mousesports a touch as they're going to funnel through the same direction, just pouring out of the kitchen. But Otto tries to chime in. Scrunk gets one. This is still very much possible. Alu up against Otto 1v1. The bomb is ticking. Otto with the flash out. And Alu's going for the fall. Alu might get this. Oh, in the last second, he gets the defuse. CT side pick up the round. And once again, this is so close in the rounds, but at the end of the day, mousesports just locking it down.
There's amazing knowledge out of him to just go for that amazing game sense, to just go straight for the defuse up in that 1v1 here. And remember, myKPV, they were basically on an eco. It was obviously head armor and Tech-9s. They didn't have any assault rifles in that one, and yet they took the B side. The smokes coming out of them, though.
Really
blocking
nice.
off Chris J, blocking off Kitchen were fantastic. And obviously you can see Chris J just kind of choosing a little bit of a different position this time, but Jensen now on the Tech-9 only. And Taps an easy kill on a Johnny, but we'll get pushed in from Connector here. We'll pick up a second on Jensen, but we'll finally be shut down by Odo. And now Scrunk waiting for the rotate, gets the kill on Legisia. And it's a 2-on-3 here. Bomb still towards Tetris, but 3-man with a nice shot on Alu, and not to mention Scrunk coming in yet again. And now Chris J with the ump in hand up against an AK. Goes down. And myKPV pick up that round, and that was weird. I feel like mousesports just... What were they doing in that one? Obviously,
to be fair, right? Tabson played it so well, predicting the 3-2 split. As soon as he saw them in mid, he expected them coming from A main. He just, I'm pretty sure that was Neuron just through smoke. He just sprayed in there with the M4 and got the kill. But then from then on, it just spiraled really quickly downhill.
Well, here we go. Going to round number 20 here. 12-7 is the scoreline. Remember, guys, this is only the first map in a best-of-3. Second one will be on cash. And here we go. Set smokes. Flash is coming in. You can see 3 men towards middle, 1 man towards connector now, 1 man towards jungle as well here. And Jensen can be able to push straight in towards the site here. But we'll get sprayed down. And look at this Nookie now, prime position for some kills. But Odo shuts him down here. And Thompson drops as well. Odo picking up a second. And now Chris J, the USPS, going to be dropped behind Jensen again here. Alu, last man alive in a 1-on-5. And he's just looking for a couple of exit frags here. Only has a P250 in hand. And we'll spot out a kill. But I think that's all he's going to get here, as he's going to be forced to rotate around maybe.
He may catch one going through connector possibly, or pushing towards CT. But yeah, as we said, pretty much a nice round coming out from the T's, just wanting that full execution. It cost him a lot, well not a lot, but it cost him, you know, the smokes, the flashes, the full way of going about it. But it got them around on the board, which is the important part, and you cannot take mousesports too lightly. These guys are very, very competent when it comes towards these sort of plays. And as we can see, 12-8. Right now, CT side. A little strap for cash again. Might have to go for the double eco. And let's see what they can do here. Maybe the CT side just going to stack out A. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they decide to maybe read into myKPV. But early smokes coming out from myKPV, working through mid. As Alu are going to go aggressive, try and do a little bit to myKPV as they did to them. And actually it's worked out. Legisha supporting him then through mid, as Ali will try and back away. Not going to happen so swiftly. Legisha will retract on short and fall back, leave the T side to mid as much as possible. Apologies for the settings. I don't know what's actually going on with the broadcast. We are aware of it. We'll try and fix it as soon as possible. And I think we might have to go for a quick little restart here. As it is pretty much unwatchable. So apologies for that. It's going to be a very swift restart. We'll be back. So apologies for the drop so far. You're not missing out on too much until that just happened. Chris J did just get next down there. And it looks like mousesports might be able to turn this eco into a bit of a good round for them. As the bomb is down, they do have everything in their arsenal, just not armor. So Strugs and Alex could do something here. Strugs may not want to push through that smoke, however, and Alex has to deal with Chris J close quarters. He does so, dispatches of him. And now 2v2, make it a 2v1. The Strugs will now have to push. The flash blinds the opponent. Alu goes down the 1v1. Oh, what a shot from Strugs! He doesn't have the time, surely. Maybe there's a def kit to hand and he could get this one. It's going to be close either way. I think he might have had that in the last second.
Just barely in that one, and Strugs coming up big for his team, picking up the 2 kills. And at least secure another round here. But again, mousesports, it seems like every round they do get close to winning. It is so damn tight between the 2 teams. And right now, going to be forcing the buy yet again. As you can see, Alu and Chris J both with the up in hand. And looks like they're going to try to maybe contest a little bit more. They're playing so slow, and yet they run the clock down to the wire. And they're just barely scaving through, getting into these sites here. But only looking for a peek towards the door. And we can see Chris J pushing up towards playground as well.
Well, the York action, who are you going to bet on this one? I'd have said Chris J, but it's going to be Troubley coming out on top. Gets the follow-up. That's 2 down for this man. He should be able to fall back, fairly uncontested, and get himself safe on towards A. Nice bit of early aggression from Planet Key Dynamics, gaining them control of that A push. And, well, that's going to leave mousesports a little worse for wear, as Legisha edging in towards the B-bomb side. Gets down one, gets the second. But Troubley again denying any further steps towards the site. Pretty much a one-man band at this point, as he does have 2 more potential victims to find. Alu and Nookie. And where are these 2? Lurking around mid, looking for maybe a way in. Nookie checking that boost spot. But I think Legisha already took down the 1 player who was peeking up and down there. But still, 2 on this site. Smoke being lined up. Being dropped in. Ooh, fails it slightly there. Doesn't get it towards where he wants, but the shot was also missed then. But as was Alu's, that is a very rare sight, and Troubley's on for the ace here. He finally goes down to Nookie. But now Nookie left in a 1v2. He's on half HP. He's got 20 seconds. This is a tough predicament.
It is going to be very tough here as he picks up the kill on the Stavros on the top side as well. He's going to go for the plant here, but he could be peeked by Nex, and he could be taken out, but Nex is going to let the plant actually go through here. We'll spot him out, pick the kill, and that will secure Planet Dynamics now their 4th round in a row here. And mousesports, they're getting the sites, they're getting the plants down, but they just can't maintain it. They're missing some really questionable shots as well on top of that. Either way, PKD rise up to the occasion here, giving us a good game.
Fantastic game. 4-3. I know this is going to be a close one, but it's certainly going back and forward. We're yet to see really the T's extend that full buy, though. That's what I want to see them bringing those rounds in, start building up that bank and looking to really disrupt the opponents. PKD have got some comfort now. Trouble getting that 4-man is definitely going to help out. And look at this cheeky little boost. I love that. Really nicely done. Just give him a little bit more access just to peek through. But Chris J denying 2 already. I don't even know where that was. They've just made a full push towards B. Struggs is behind them, though, in the smoke. Peers out, finds Legesia. 3 more to go. As he have driven them back down towards the backside of B. Fluffs the flash, but Chris J smoking up. Struggs not expecting the push. Chris J makes it 3, and now last 2 standing. Tabson finds one as next might be the next victim for Chris J, but no, it's going to be Tabson to find him. And beautiful work from Chris J on that side, completely soloing it out and doing wonderful work for his team. And that's the danger of this man. When he starts playing that aggressive ball, when he starts working towards these sites, he can be so damn good. I want to see more of that coming out from him. However, 4-4 is the scoreline. It's still very close. The CT's forced back on a bit of a mixed eco, a bit of armor there. CZ and a Swag 7 in the mixture with the Deagle, so they've got a fairly diverse. So once again, apologies. Hopefully this is working now. I'm so sorry for this, but you know there's not much we can do here. It's a bit of an IT issue, not us. Last, but you know we're gonna try and make the best of it. Keep the feedback coming through. We do appreciate it in stream as much as fix the lag with a lovely little smiley face next to it does encourage us to do so. We are on this trying to fix it out. So once again, apologies. There's limited amounts of what we can achieve here. However, mousesports seem to be achieving quite well. 5-4 at the moment. mousesports leading this one with just the P250s on the CT side, and Chris J looking to open up. We've seen the danger of what these guns can do. Not exactly a complete stack. But there's a good couple of players present on this side. Struggs is still there, looking for more. As he does get smoked out and pressured by the T's. Just about makes it away alive, but Tabson will take him down, leaving these 2 up and standing. And Next does have armor. He might want to keep hold of this, but gonna go in anyway with that 5-7 and try and maybe catch a couple on the way out. If not, it'll be a completely clean round from the T side. And round 10 looking as though it will be mousesports'. It will be a 6-4 scoreline if it keeps going this way. As Next does go peering out, only to be met by Tabson and his AK. 6-4 is the scoreline. mousesports starting to build up as soon as they started to get that bank rolling.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, PlanetKey, they were able to pull off 4 rounds straight, and now they're really struggling to lock down any of these rounds here. And, you know, we can look at, you know, the scoreboard between the both teams, and 8-7 for Strux, 8-7 for Next. Next not really having the game that he had prior, obviously in their first best-of-3 up against Stop Pixels. And on the side of mousesports, Tabson really stepping up at 12-4 now for his team. And Chris J actually bottom fragging with 6 kills. So it's nice to see, you know, some other people on mousesports can really step up and really, you know, show what they've got going on here. But either way, PlanetKey have bought up here. And they're trying to fight back for this one. They're trying to make something happen. Chris J, nice shot on a Next. And you can't afford to peak angles like that up against Chris J and Alu. I mean, yeah, Chris J's had a couple of rough shots here so far, but the ones he does hit, if he gets a kill on you, like every round you lose right now is just putting you that much further in the grave here for the first map, which you chose.
Well, let's see if this keeps up. I'm surprised that actually mousesports went for that aggressive peak. Generally, we've seen 2 players from the CT side pushing forward towards those bathroom peaks, but nice little peek from Chris J. That didn't even... Oh, look at that boost. That is beautiful. Straight over in towards the A site there. No one actually on the site, maybe giving away the game that someone had pushed forward. They will manage to spot Stavros out there, drop over the Molotov towards the back bank side and start that push. Probably going to cut off players like Strokes from getting straight in there. Smokes to follow, mollies for days, and it's going to be the A site completely under control here. Strokes waiting it out. Alex is also on the rotate, but mousesports are completely in this site at the moment. And I don't think they're going to go way back in. Chris J does come out with a Tech 9 swinging and takes down Alex. The Struggs does find one, but I don't think he's going to get much more, and I think he knows that. Waiting for the exits. Nice angle on towards Tabson. Gets one, and the second on the spray down, but 1v2 with that sort of time limit left. He knows it's a done deal, but doesn't expect Ali around the back. And mousesports starting to get into the swing of things. Really extending their legs in this scoreline. And once again, guys, apologies for the issues. We have hopefully resolved some of them. Do let us know, once again, you know, through Twitch chat, on Twitter. It's always appreciated. We can try and fix as much as we can.
Yes, we can. And, well, right now it seems like we're good to go here for a while. So, mousesports up 7-4 here now. And this is only the first map here in this best of 3 of the grand finals of EPS Germany Winter 2014 season. I'm going to see first place will take home 4,000 euros. Second place takes home 2,000. So, I'm going to see a nice 2K difference between the top teams here. And mousesports, got to give them credit where it's due. They've shown that, yeah, we used to be weak on this map, but we've been able to perform here. We've definitely put in the time and practice that we needed to come into this one, considering these recent changes. So, Alex trying to hold Sewer here as he taps in, maybe slowly making his way through as these smokes do dissipate. And there's a lot of men waiting to receive this one. Alex, get the first couple of shots off, won't get the kill, but gets him very low on HP. Taps him down to 4 health. Now, a quick rotate coming in from the side of PKD here, trying to stop this push into B. Alex picks up a kill on the next as well. Like he's just slowly making his way through water. And 3 men on PKD's side could be coming from the same angle here, which will allow the bomb to get down. And should allow the hold here. Nookie picks up the kill on the Strux. Stavros now getting completely mollied out here as Trouble trying to do what he can from the side. We'll get flashed out. We'll get actually his teammate will get rushed in, but Stavros picks up the kill, allowing an AK. Why not shoot the gun to your teammate right now and get it onto that side of the area? But instead, not vouching for that. They continue to get flashed and pushed out, and now he's finally shooting the gun across to his teammate, maybe trying to get so they can save that one. And well, Trouble looks like he will just hide behind the doors, behind the smokes here. And he will get away with the op in hand.
Maybe.
Better run for dear life. Alright, so he will secure the op, but still, down now 4-8 here. On your map choice, on the favorable side... Well, here's a question. Can we still say this is CT-sided, considering the recent changes? I would say yes, but obviously not to the same degree it was before. But it definitely should not be 4-8 when you're on that CT side. Yeah,
I tend to agree with you. I think they're giving way too much room for the T side to kind of get into it. We are seeing the auto sniper though. Curious if that's going to be going to the get right style place that we saw NIP rocking out to, which is down towards the lower suicide. And this is why you can just line up those heads and knock them off. But only Alu goes down to that. And as we can see, the T side push has worked on towards that B bomb site. However, in the smoke stands Strugs, and he's not done just yet.
He's not. He's able to pick up another fragment there. Eventually does get taken out by Legesia, but Trouble next, all coming in hot pursuit here to help out. Christian, the last man saying with the op in hand, 1v3. And he has pulled off situations like this before. He could potentially do it again. 1 man to left, gets the kill. 2 men coming to his right. Will he get the kill? He spots out the gun, misses the shot. And Stavros will secure the kill. And finally, a 5th round here for PKD. 5th round is good, yes, but you've already dug yourself a little bit of a hole here. It's going to be so tough for them on that T side to claw their way back into this one. And like you mentioned, the last time these two teams met, it was 13-2 CT side for PKD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this was a very different display compared to the DreamHack qualifiers that we saw. mousesports either upping their game substantially, or maybe just PKD just not being absolutely on point. So once again, thank you guys for the feedback. Have to wait and see how this one comes through in the end here. But see Tabson being flashed in, and I'm just kind of curious to see what the CT side can bring out. I actually like seeing the stack. I didn't see this before, and it's kind of the counter to where we've seen Chris J coming into. And Trouble has been catching these shots a couple of times. He's been certainly landing them if they go for this sort of peak.
Well, looks like he will have a man come right around the corner just as he leaves. Either way, Strux is able to pick up a kill for them onto Legesia towards that B site, though. So able to give him a man advantage here with a minute left on this round. And Chris J with his online J up will make his way towards B here. And how many smokes? They have 3 smokes, sorry, to work with. 4 smokes, I just can't even count anymore. And 2 Molotovs as well.
Are we seeing another boost? We've got double up on both sides.
Okay.
So let's see how that one comes through. I like this angle, but...
Oh my...
Nookie! He knew that from the start.
That is a shot that is fantastic. Oh, wow. Anyways, that might have opened up the round for them as well here. As you can see, 8-5 scoreline. Tapton trying to watch towards upper. They have a guy pushing forward CT. They're not in the best of positions here to defend this bomb. But either way, they're going to try to make do with what they have. Tapson now pushing in towards the smoke, towards pillar. And will be shot at from the back of sight as well here. Stavros coming from the side, picks up the kill. Actually, it's Alex who secures it. Chris J picking up the frag. Over on Alex to return. One more guy towards the barrel to his right. Gets the kill as well on a Stavros. And now it's all in the hands of Trouble here, who's 1v2. As he already able to secure 1 frag so far in the site. Going to go for the flash and the defuse. He does get on the bomb. Can he secure it? Alu with the Tech 9 does pick up the frag and does get themselves their 9th round here of this first half. Going into the end of the first half now. If mousesports secure this round, I feel like that's just going to be it for map number 1.
I tend to agree. The money situation as well for the CTs is pretty dire. Well, we've got a FAMAS in here, 1 M4 for Stavros, a shotgun, and a P250 and a 5.7. So nothing brilliant for the CTs to work with. However, mousesports, as soon as they started around those double AWP setups, it started to come in so much faster for them. They just seem to work it out so much more. This early aggression, I quite liked from PKD. It worked with them. And as soon as they stopped doing it, it seemed that Chris J had more free reign to pick on towards that A site and then force rotates out from these players. And we saw it again in the previous round, that the bomb never really committed towards A. They just got a couple of picks here and there and then just swung right around towards B and opened it up. And just mousesports seem so fluid on this map in comparison to PKD, who are a little bit more static, who don't... Obviously, they're on the CT side, but you know they're not as quite as fluid and as willing to peek. And ooh, did tabseN just get caught out there? No, he didn't. He turns around, gets the next down, but I think we're once again seeing a nice little cheeky boost coming out from PKD.
Chubby might put a catch at 1 man as he goes down towards it, but Legisha picks up the kill on Alex over towards that A site. I believe, no, sorry, it's towards B. Pushing through sewer here, and Chubby will secure one on a tabseN, and now will be forced to back away. They know 1 man is towards sewer, maybe 1 or 2 men towards water as they just saw them walk through that door. And look at this, Stavros coming in from the backside, picks up 2 big kills pushing from restrooms. And now Legisha and Chris J in a 2-on-3. And they're both working together here. Going to smoke off the door. As we can see, there's actually no one there here, and even flash the site a little bit, but Chris J gets pushed by Strux, and that'll be the kill coming in towards him. Legisha trying to go for the plant here with 18 seconds left to go, picks up the kill on Trubby. There's still 1 man behind him, I believe, over towards up, or at least on his way there. And here we go, the counter flashes, the nades as well. Stavros spots up Legisha, and now will secure themselves. There's 6 round here of the first half, but again, 9-6 scoreline going in towards that T side is going to be so rough for them.
Just a little bit, to say the least. We'll have to wait and see. I still think that PKD should have done a little better, in my opinion. But, I don't know. PKD could have picked up some rounds then. Stavros pretty much claimed them, that final one with that 3-man, coming around the backside of them in mid, working down from restaurants, which was really good. And obviously claiming the last one as well. But, I don't know. I think mousesports just played a little better. I think that's the first time we've seen them really executing quite nicely a couple of times on towards the B site. I want to see how well they do now on CT. There's still a very big chance here for PKD. They just need to pick up that initial pistol and then roll off the back of it. We'll wait and see what they can bring, however, as on the overview of like who's playing well, Struggs is obviously doing quite nicely, but take away those 3 kills from Stavros in that previous round, and it's not such a pretty picture, and look what the CT side are up to. I think they're fully aware of what's going down here, and, well, let's find out what they can do for it, as it's going to be an all-in play down towards this B side. The flash comes out from tabseN, is beautifully placed, flashing up everyone, allowing time for the rotate, but no one's there fast enough to back him up.
Legisha now trying to play from short here with the help of all the way off to the side with the 5.7. They do pick up a kill. Chris J gets one as well here on a Trubly, and they've stopped this push onto the B side so stupendously. But now Strux coming from the backside through water, gets taken down by Legisha, and Stavros with 10 HP up against the 3 members of mousesports here. This is going to be a tough battle for him to win out on. He spotted Legisha jumping up behind those bags, but he's not hitting the shot just yet, and that does let obviously the team know exactly where he is. And mousesports secure another round here, the pistol round on the second half. And they are now 5 or 6 rounds away here from going on to Dust 2, their map of choosing, for the potential revenge from last season.
And that's something to keep in mind. There is that part of revenge that certainly mousesports will be wanting. And they're not messing around, straight on towards rifles, no SMGs, no mixed bag of buy. They want straight up towards at least the FAMAS. Bit of armor there as well. An M4 on Chris J, no surprise. And they're going super aggressive, and it partially paid off, but Trubly now pushing forward. Legisha better be aware of this. He better get the shot, but he goes down, and this could have all gone very wrong. But tabseN coming in for the cleanup, looking to maybe stop the rot. But when all that goes down, mousesports has suddenly been put through their paces here, left at a 3v2.
And bomb working its way towards the A side here. There's 1 man, I think, defending on against that. Actually, well, he's kind of under it right now as it does make his way through here. And Stavros looks like he might close off this bank section. We'll have Chris J coming with an M4. This is going to be a tough kill to pick off, but if he can, it'd be amazing. He gets taken down, though, and now Strux in a 1-on-3 here with the scout in hand. And we'll clear the site at least, but then we'll have 1 man off towards bank. That's exactly where he is. 1 man towards stairs, and Chris J, a phenomenal shot coming out. Now secure another round here for mousesports. 11-6, here's a scoreline on the first map. Remember, this is a best of 3 here for the grand finals. And now we're almost at the breaking point.
Yeah, and you don't get to use scouts against players like Chris J without some repercussions. So, for me, it's a near-on done deal. Let's be honest here. I think PKD know that. If they didn't pick up one of these earlier rounds, they could be in a bit of a dire situation, which they are. They've completely near on eco this flat out. One P250 in the mix, and that is it. Everything else is just the Glocks. I've just got to say that on a 12-6 scoreline, unless they really just pick up on the gun rounds, which they may do, they've got a very tough game ahead of them.
Very true. I mean, they need some sort of momentum going on here, and at least they might go for a little bit of a counter boost here. This would be really interesting to see exactly what it does give them vision of. And does towards the barrels, as you can see. Honestly, no one's there just yet. Thompson might actually push right into it, though. And they will spot him out, but they can't get the shot just yet here. Thompson turning around does get away from this one. And Noki going to pick up the kill through the wall onto his teammate Strux. Now will now give him a 5-on-4 advantage here. Thompson secures another kill. Alu gets one as well. And Trubby, now the last man standing, pushes straight into his death. Mousesports secure another round here. Planet Key Dynamics, they're struggling for rounds. Let's see. We'll have a little bit of a pause coming in, but now they can finally buy up.
Yeah, and who would have thought that boosting doesn't win you games, Jason? Who would have thought? Huh?
I mean, technically it did once.
It didn't, technically. That's the thing. Technically, it didn't win the game.
I don't want to talk about this.
RIP Fnatic. Yeah, we are just waiting on the 5th to come back for PKD. You can see the admins just kind of appearing out of nowhere.
Just walking to the shots, you know.
That's why we like them. Although everyone in the background is so confused right now as to what's happening.
Oh, well, someone did disconnect, so man on
it's
PKD's
just everyone
side.
Turning around like, what?
Looks like they might be having a couple of PC issues. But luckily they can't hear us, so we can talk tons of smack about him. And Trubby being like 6'6" like he is, can't come up here and beat me up. You'd like to see that, though.
A little bit.
Either way, I mean, we have to think about, again, on that T side here, struggling in this map. Even on the CT side, where they won the knife round, they chose CT, yet they were still having a hard time. And now, obviously, on the T side here, it's going to be even tougher for them. But, if we think about, let's just think about the long run. All right, let's just assume mousesports pick up this map. We go into Dust 2, which is mousesports' choice. I still say PKD is a strong team on Dust 2, but I don't know if they're mousesports strong. And if they do, or if they can get through that map, we have to think about Mirage. Now, that's the map I think this would be a real big toss-up between the two teams.
I agree. And I like the way someone's having to have assistance as to how to type. So you press the W key to go forward, and that's it. He's even got little shiny keys showing him where he is.
I always find it cool how some people actually set up their keyboard. Like you have, Forrest, who has it perpendicular to him. And you have some teams or some players do it backwards. I don't. It's really confusing.
Backwards.
Well, you have lefties.
Backwards.
So I'm a lefty, right? But I use the mouse in my right hand. But I've seen people that are lefties, like Machine, who uses the mouse in his left hand, and obviously the keyboard in his right. And then he complains when he can't set up the keyboard the way he wants to.
You sure it's not just an excuse for really bad players?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I think we had to wait on the reconnection of a couple of players, and hopefully we'll get this one back underway. We lost 2 actually from the T side, so one hopes they'll be back soon.
You know, one thing I'm seeing actually is a lot of.
Well, tell me, Jason.
I'll tell you what I want. Tech 9s, P250s, and 5.7s. It's nice to see some variety in pistols now instead of CZs every round. The Tech 9s.
The Tech 9s being the new CZ.
Yeah, it's not as powerful in terms of you can't just sit there and hold the button and get a complete spray on someone and kill them. It's not an SMG. Obviously, you can click really quickly with it, and the moving accuracy is not terrible, but it makes it so you can't have an SMG for $500.
Yeah, certainly not. It's kind of weird seeing a changeover, and an event so close to the changing point, it's always going to push teams a little further.
True.
Especially for Ops, it's probably a big change. I think we've all seen the JW video that someone kindly made on HLTV. 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it on my Twitter later. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it's very funny if you haven't seen it. I think Lurpus was discussing it earlier. Very good. 10 out of 10.
I wish I knew what it was. I unfortunately haven't seen it.
I can't discuss it on air. It's very private.
It's fine. And once you guys let us know your thoughts, you can do it via Twitch chat. You can also do it via Twitter at They Call Me Pansy for Lauren, at JKalpin for me, or you can just do us both, which always works out really well. Always let us know what you guys think, and obviously who you bet on, considering it was 81% for mousesports, which those 81% of people out there are feeling pretty good, and 19% over towards that PKD side, which I feel really bad for, because that's a team I kind of had pitted to be the favorites in this one. But I guess mousesports really proving that our team to really mess with when it comes back to, a rematch for these two teams. And obviously PKD not having CLY on their team anymore, going for Alex, who, he's done fairly well, but I feel like he hasn't been living up to exactly what CLY did. Either way, PKD need to fight back here, and I think we're still having a little bit of issues. I think one person still has to reconnect.
Crochet looks alright though. He's happy.
Needs to shave.
Oh, if he likes his facial hair. Don't be rude.
Like I'm mad at anyone that can grow facial hair because mine's all scruffy.
Oh, can you? Or it just looks terrible?
I can do a goatee, but I look like someone who should be banned from being near parks. But
speaking of parks, I think we have players back in.
We should go back to that then. That would be much better than what I'm talking about.
I tend to agree. So yeah, players are back in for PKD. They look ready to go. Should be in any second now, maybe. I'll just click around aimlessly and give people a seizure.
Let's hear that APM.
LEM, APM, gonna be 10 out of 10.
Oh gosh. Are you back to LEM? Nice. Nice.
That solo queue.
Truly carried by a lot of Size Syndicate, Rush
Lee. Yeah, Rush Lee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 out of 10 player. Size Syndicate. For a silver
he doesn't beat
it's
at
pretty
all
good.
Either.
No,
I mean, he will always take the fights.
Come on, guys, unpause. It's fixed. Look how happy they look. Come on.
Can't really smile with the ski mask over your face.
Yeah, I was about to say that was a silly idea, wasn't it, Lauren?
We can look at the new sign that's on the map.
There we go. Nice one, Olaf. He has left a true mark on this map, though. It's like...
Thing is, we could discuss it, but I feel like we shouldn't, since it's changed, obviously.
We should never discuss these things. That's too edgy.
We don't like to be edgy here.
No.
All right, looks like we got the unpause has come in here. Nope. Just as quickly as I say that, it's not.
I got all excited, and then I stopped.
Oh, no, wait.
It is. It's back on.
It is going live.
Should be any second now, at least. So buying back up. It should be fixed soon. But we can look at the knives. Look at that. Nice Star Trek knife.
I unboxed a knife yesterday.
Shut up, Jason.
Actually, I was streaming, and
one
of my streams just gave me a Vanguard case, and I was like, all right, I'll open it. First box open the night, a knife. N9, case hardened, it's like 60% blue.
Shut up.
I unboxed a Karambit as well way before, like way back in the day.
I still haven't actually unboxed a knife yet. At all.
You have 4.
Doesn't matter.
Why does it matter if you unbox it? You got 4.
I need my own. All right. I'm gonna keep investing money like an idiot until I do. Pretty sure I'm gonna pay for the next major by the time it comes around.
I think you're probably close to it.
I'm just throwing those dollars at it.
I find it hilarious when Joe opens cases. It's
until
recently. Until recently.
Asimov, that's not cool.
Before that, the best thing he would get was like a bright water. Like
I'm pretty sure I traded him.
Was his stat track Asimov?
Yes, I think so.
Joe, if you're out there, come on, buddy.
Look a brother up.
Look me up. Come on, boss man.
Rather than your salary, can you just have that? Is that it? Is that what you get paid for being a caster, right?
I think I'd be getting paid more with the op than I actually get paid here. So.
Yeah. I agree. Orbs for payment. That's how it works. Come on, I'll pause the game. Well, we could actually discuss the game, but...
We could.
Let's just stare at signs for a while. I like this, like,
Why is he, like, lounging out on the table? Or is that... that's his leg that's actually down there between the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Wow. I don't know what the exact German translation is, however. It's something like, please do not stand on the ledge, or don't stand on the ledge, I don't know.
Gelände. I can't speak German.
You know you've abused a map when someone adds in a whole panel just for
I like on train as well. Actually, yeah. Have you had any practice or any play on the new train?
I played it a couple of times. I didn't get to ride on the pigeon.
Oh yeah, neither did I before they took it out. But
by the time I got to play it, the pigeons were gone.
Any early thoughts on it?
It's really different.
Yeah.
Completely different. Sights are completely different. I don't know. It doesn't feel like train until I go to B and die to an Orpa just sitting somewhere. But
not knowing exactly where he is.
Yeah, exactly. That feeling is still certainly there. But other than that, it's weird. It's really weird. Like going to main on A, weird. Ivy, weird.
Well, they changed up ladder. Like, they gave you more protection leaving down ladder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pop is a little bit different as well.
I want to see pro teams play it, see how they bring it out, because I think it's way more viable these days.
Well, I do like, though, that obviously CSGO is changing up these maps that have been kind of, quote-unquote, unplayable. I'm curious to see if they'll do anything to nuke, though, to make it a little bit more...
Well, they changed it a little bit. I think they changed the... correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch chat, but... I'm pretty sure they changed the material on the floor of the bottom side, so you can hear it differently.
Sound has always been a big problem on that one, yeah.
So I think they've made some good changes. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. I think, ooh, it's on pause, guys. We can shut the hell up and we can start talking about CS:GO that's actually happening. And 12-60 the scoreline. mousesports are still firmly in the lead It's the first buy really coming for PKD, though, and this is a very important round.
Yes, it is. And look at this. mousesports sending 2 men up towards bathrooms ASAP here. In the meantime, PKD pushing 3 men over towards the B site. Gonna smoke off and work towards door as well here with Trebly. And Tabson pushed out towards water here. Gonna pick up a first kill. Looking for a second. He will get taken down by Stavros, though. And now this does give him a little bit of advantage here towards this B site, where there's actually no one even on the site right now. There's no one even defending it. I think he's just going to scurry as fast as he possibly can. But this should be a bomb punt here coming in any second.
Well, it should be. The molly does come out. Oh, the flash was 0 out of 10, but that's what we can do. Bomb is down. Retake time for the CT side. They can certainly do it, but it's going to be a tough one. Flash over. They know there's at least a player here, but will they expect the second? One more awaits. It will be Alex who peers out, gets one. Trebly got the other. Now just Nookie alive. He's going to be picked up pretty comfortably. Surely, no! He stays alive and now 1v1. He's got Trebly down low, 22 HP. Comes in, just toying. Oh my god, Trebly. If you bought enough time, then that's insane. And he did! Oh my god. Ring a ring of roses?
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes. We don't defuse the bomb. But what? Either way, fantastic job by Trebly. Even though he died, just to buy time and to finally get them on the board here on this T side. That's exactly what they needed. They needed some sort of momentum coming off the back of just having a devastating CT half of a 6-9 scoreline here. But either way, let's see how this one goes. They got a little bit of momentum, still able to buy up on the mousesports side. A nice, fantastic smoke coming in, smoke off bottom water here. But right now, PKD aren't even working towards that just yet. They're hitting playground, and they're looking for a birthday party, maybe. What? Maybe they're gonna push over there. Don't judge me.
That was awful, Jason. Birthday party or not. It does seem as though Mouse are very happy to get aggressive. Certainly want to get into the face of the opponents, and as you can see, ChrisJ pushed up quite substantially. Nookie actively peeking as well. But next did find Legesia, so I'm not sure if they're going to expect Alu in this spot, and Alu peeks up, gets one, backs away, and allows the rest to peek out. ChrisJ gets caught just as he switches weapons as Alu finally goes down to Trebly, but this is a dangerous play to be kind of embracing here, as Alex does find Tabson as well. There's now just 2 left alive, and the aggression would have been perfect if they really stuck it, but no one was there to really follow up on Alu's pick.
And now they're being forced to rotate back towards that B site where there's already 1 man waiting. It's actually going to be Alex watching them push in through that upper side, maybe get some sort of sneaky peek in this one. Either way, bomb now going down. And I'm assuming mousesports going to be definitely trying to save these weapons here, considering they have not much money to buy with anymore. And yeah, they will look for the save. Now the question for me is, will Planet Key chase them down? Will they let them save? Because if you keep the op out of ChrisJ's hands, that's doing a pretty good job coming to the next round.
I don't think they really have that much time to chase it out.
How much money are PKD sitting on? Actually, not that much money, funny enough. So
yeah, so they don't really want to risk losing theirs either, let's be honest. And they're going to back out the safe way and just kind of let bygones be bygones and let ChrisJ maintain that AWP for now. And, you know, running out an AWP is kind of dangerous regardless, as they only have AKs with them, and they certainly don't lose that. Especially at this point in the game, we're 8-12. PKD need everything they can get, and playing even just to get the gun out of the hands of ChrisJ is still dangerous. And, well, let's see what can happen this time. mousesports still in the lead, but that margin's getting closed.
It is. Down 4 rounds now here. Able to finally turn things on their heads coming into this T half. ChrisJ looking towards sewers. Actually can have a couple of men receiving here. He can pick up so many kills. Gets the first one. He's in the right place with this op. Backs away as well with the help flashbangs from his teammates, but they're being closed in on straight on the map. And that will be now ChrisJ taking out a second. Looking for maybe number 3 off to the side. We'll get taken down by Alex, though. And Tabson coming from the side. Picks up 1, picks up 2. And Nookie securing the kill from short. That will get themselves finally back on the board here on the CT side. 13-8 now is the scoreline.
Perfectly played out by ChrisJ there. And the timing of going for that peek on towards the way in towards B, nicely done. And let's not forget that 5-7 coming in. So, PKD now, 8 rounds, it's not bad, but you're feeling that mousesports are just constantly closing in on their map. That's the thing. Dust 2 is a terrifying one to come up against these guys. But let's see what we've got going on with the Ts this round. Once again, Alu getting aggressive here. Looking like he wants to find an early challenge, as does Tabson. And I think they'll have a good idea where they are, because look how aggressive they push out. Stavros will find ChrisJ. That's giving away nothing, really. The Ts might want to rotate towards that, as they've gained no ground elsewhere, and Legesia still lurking around.
They've been definitely taking control of this stairway for a good portion of the game, but let's see. So you have 3 men to receive this one. Look for the first kill. Won't actually be able to pick it up just yet. Gets the count to Stavros, though. Look for number 2. He will get the dink on the next, though, taking him down to 9 HP. And now Alu, will they expect a second man? Trebly, does he know he's there? Alu able to pick up the kill. He's still alive here. He's going for the second. Strux will take him down here. And Trebly, smart enough, just going to wait a little bit longer here towards the stairs. Maybe push up the door. There's a man in water. Tabson will actually spot him out here, and he won't get the kill. Tabson does turn that one around. And now Strux on 1 HP. Alex on 100. Tabson will be able to secure, no, he won't be able to secure a second kill, but Strux 1, Alex 39. It's all in the hands of Nookie. Will he get kited around the pillar yet again? The bomb slowly making its way in towards B.
He can certainly pull this off. The HP is dire for Strux, and nade still in the hands here, and that should catch Strux out now. 1v1. Oh, Alex holding the angle, denying Nookie even a footstep towards that side.
That nade came in maybe like a split or a couple of seconds a little bit earlier on. It would have stopped the plant yet again here. But either way, mousesports forced to save up here. Nookie does have about 5k, but such going for the P250. And we're looking at potentially a 10-13 scoreline. But we can't overrule these pistol rounds. We've seen so many of them go, you know, in the ecoing team's hands throughout the course of the day here. And mousesports could pull this off. But you can see the Legisha, Chris J forced back immediately.
Yeah, but look at Alu still pushing up.
Oh, Alu will be taken down either way. Stavros secures that one. And now Chris J trying to hide behind the wall here.
So we're working for Forest.
Doesn't work for him, as he does get taken down here. Alex secures one as well. Nookie trying to hide, tucked in on site. Tabson to help him out as well here. And he will peek out to his death. Tabson will at least be able to secure one here, but will he get any more? The chance of picking this round is very low, so he's just trying to get as much damage in as he possibly can. But Alex does secure that kill. So now 13-10 here. Planet Dynamics, they are making mousesports work for this one. We could see them come back from it, and honestly, I never would have expected after seeing that first half.
Well, I've got to say, PKD on the T side looking very strong in comparison to their CT, starting to build back up to maybe the scoreline. I was hoping, or at least predicting, that it would be a close game between these two, but a win in the end for PKD. But let's see what they've got going into this round. As the aggression from mousesports, I feel that if that's reined in, this could be a very hard defense to break. However, with the early picks often coming PKD's way, they've been able to kind of get the advantage very early on. So you can see Alex just trying to hold both angles of the push there. Just trying to be a little sneaky on this one, but no one yet certainly push through. Tabson may eventually, but out of that, no one else really wanted to challenge. And a slow start for PKD, once again expecting that aggressive play, expecting maybe Alu to peek his head up from those underneath passages.
Alright, so now it's going to be a little bit more aggressive here, trying to push up towards the A site. Next, already in position to see them push out if they do go for it. And they do have a lot of smokes, mollies, everything to work with here. On the other side, mousesports, Legisha has a smoke, but that's just about it here. And I'm not even sure if Legisha's at this site. I see Alex with a set smoke going in. And it will be towards that B side here. But the hit, it's coming towards A, so it's a fake here. And they sold it very damn well. As you see, Trebly starting to push in, going to actually Molotov towards bank. Chris J, right in the face of Strux, doesn't get the kill. He misses the no-scope. And that'll be the bomb getting planted now. And Chris J sitting in the middle of the smoke here might eventually be taken out. As Strux does secure one. And he does get the no-scope on a Strux. So that does open up a potential retake here. But considering where the bomb is planted, this is going to be so tough.
And look at Stavros behind Chris J. I'm not sure if Nookie's even aware of it, but he will be now as Stavros peeks out, gets one, but that's it. And now Tabson is found as well, and PKD getting themselves back in the game.
That subtle movement of where you can plant the bomb at that A site has completely turned around that site alone. And you see them right there. As long as they get the smoke in, as long as they don't get spammed away at trying to get the plant down, it is so hard to go for that retake there. So teams... This is what I was thinking, that the meta would adapt, where they start to push out a little bit more and not play as in close towards that A site, allowing some more time for the rotate to come in. But either way, mousesports going for an aggressive push towards long here, and they're going to meet exactly PKD where they want them. But will they pick up the kills? They have a couple of P250s, a couple of 5.7s. And next, looking for Chris J here, and we'll secure an easy frag. But now he's got 3 men off to his left, and one man off towards bathroom.
Should be a clean round coming out for PKD.
Oof.
Saying that, Alu did find Strux, and Nookie's still fairly pushed up. They know roughly where the bomb is. This could be a disaster waiting to happen, but no. Dealt with well by Nex, and Tabson will fall. So a comfortable round for PKD, only losing 2. Not too bad.
But look at the scoreline now, 12-13. Planet have pulled it back. Remember, guys, this was a 6-9 scoreline in favor of mousesports at the end of the first half, where PKD were on the CT side. And This is only our first map here in this best of 3. As we're going to be able to kick this one off here very, very soon to see if we can have things all tied up now. But now, let's see exactly where they're going to be going here. As you can see Stavros pushing in through playground. And tabseN pushing in, or actually just watching that water side here. But PKD, ooh, nice kill onto Alu, who's being a little bit aggressive right there. And, you know, PKD are pretty much giving mousesports a taste of their own medicine. They're playing this one so slow, waiting for any pushes, waiting for any little bit of aggression, and completely countering it.
It's not a bad idea, is it? It's working very well with that scoreline at 12-13. They've caught this game up massively. And can Troubley follow it through. Chris J peeking out there. A dangerous peek between these guys. As Chris J will back off, readjust, and maybe look for some more. While that happens, alex has been picked up by tabseN, so going to spur on the attack from the T side. They need to make a move as the rest of the CTs will be working around behind them. Chris J picking up the kill towards next is absolutely perfect, but Troubley now backing out a little. And Stavros ninjaing his way through B. There is a player, Nuki, behind him, but Nuki doesn't know that, and Struggs actually has got around the back of Lagisha as well, as Lagisha gets a little nervous, and he's right to be feeling so. Struggs does get that kill and slightly opens up on towards A, and look at Stavros here. If they keep buying time, he should get a clean peek on at least one of these. Spots out, Chris J waits. Can he spot out tabseN? Yes, he can! Perfectly timed, and now just Nuki to keep them in the game.
He's coming in from behind, though, looking for an easy kill. He misses the shot onto Troubley, and Troubley will get the better of him, tying things up now. PlanetKey mousesports 13-13. And one thing we do have to mention, everyone out there who's not too familiar with the German scene, Troubley, he used to be on mousesports with Chris J. Like, he knows exactly how they play, and to see them go head-to-head with ops against each other is just so epic to see. And Troubley's been able to get the better of him, I think, the majority of the time here so far. So I'm just using that knowledge to his advantage now. And the smoke, again, perfectly placed into that lower sewer to actually cut them off from door and allow the CTs to push there if they do want to. But in the meantime, again, Alex holding a little bit of a cross, watching both sewers. And PKD more than happy to keep playing at this pace.
Yeah, mousesports still very aggressive. I'm surprised. Even on such a sloppy buy, you got a, what, Famous in there, or 2 Famouses, a Deagle. It's not pretty for these guys. And to be kind of locked down to this, that's pretty dire. Once again, I can imagine these guys being a little more aggressive out.
Oh, I like this spot.
Ground. And Nuki in a great position, just gives away the game though. Went for the early challenge towards Stavros. He could have held his nerve then, and gets caught on the way out. Absolutely huge kill coming for Stavros, and opens up the possibility of an A hit, or at least to catch him out on the rotate, because it looks like the T side are heading round.
Well, they very well could come in towards this B side if they want to. Still taking their time, going to where Alex was maintaining the pushes. Look at this, Alu waiting to receive as well as tabseN there. For now, 35 seconds to go. And with the set smokes, flashes all coming in, even the fake over towards A, it seems, with that one-man Troubley. Oh, if he can pick up this kill to the man to his right, it'd be fantastic, but he misses the shot. Chris J gets the better of him with that Deagle. Gets an op back in his hands here, but the push towards B has been successful. They will be able to get the bomb down, it seems. There's one man towards short. They haven't accounted for him just yet. Lagisha coming in from the backside, going to pick up an easy kill. Gets next, gets the bomb now down. 12 seconds left to go. They don't have a lot of time to work with here. And now Struck's the last man standing. He would be over towards water, coming through towards short, and he won't have the time to go for the plan here. mousesports going to take the lead back again.
What a brilliant point for mousesports as well. Great play from Chris J to initially stop that little individual push from Troubley over towards B. Sorry, excuse me, A. And then spurring on that push towards B a little sooner on. But that play down short coming around the backside, the amount of times we've seen it flanking around the back is brilliant. So, 14-13, mousesports finally getting a bit more money behind them. This is the first time we're seeing a full buyout in some time. No, well, not a full one. Nuki's still with the Famous, but closer to full, shall I say, as the T's still on that full by themselves. Probably has the AWP, no real worries for money up until this point. So, overall, 1 minute left to go. Standard start out from these guys. Alex, once again over by B, holding the push around the back and allowing them to work in. And mousesports playing a little bit more passively, but not by much.
Oh, Chris J hits the shot on Stavros, gives them that man advantage that they're desperately going to need here to get onto map point. But next, pushing through restrooms here, might catch out Alu, who's not even looking at him at all. He sees out the gun, gets the kill. And now Chris J looks like he will just back away here. Going to play this one safe. Oh, wow, he gets the shot on the next. Gets down to 23 HP here. The flash going to come in as well. Buy him a little bit of time for the repeat. Spots him out, gets another kill. That's 2 in his pocket now in this one. And PlanetKey starting to struggle to really get in towards these sites here. And that is a lovely boost again coming in to completely open up that A site.
Probably desperately looking for Chris J there. Not able to spot him out as he is playing on towards that A bomb site now. Going to play a little more passively, hold the peak, but Troubly delivers that bullet to his brain as now PKD back in the game. 2v2 here. Bomb making its way around towards the A bomb site. Troubly going to push in himself. Smokes off one peak. Going to try and secure this as best he can to allow smooth access to his teammate. Perfectly played from Troubly there. Now, 1v2. Tabson needs to go against the odds.
Now, Troubly doesn't have much HP to work with here. Strux as well, sitting at 73, but the Maul going to come in to push him out into a bad position. They have to know Troubly's in sight here. He's going to push straight towards Strux. Doesn't get the kill just yet, but he could pull this off. He could, but he doesn't. Troubly gets the kill, takes it back to 14 apiece, and Troubly, with that opener onto Chris J's dome, completely gave him that A sight, and now a tied score yet again.
Massive play from Troubly there. He's on 21-19. Tied up with Strux and Nex. So these guys are really having a great game, but then again, there's Tabson. There's Nuki, there's Chris J, there's these boys doing it for the CT side, but look at it this way. Planet Key Dynamics can get on map point here with pretty much very little answer from the CTs. They're running a hell of a lot low on cash, and look at this all in play towards B. PKD feeling fairly confident, and they're going to challenge down tabs, and immediately that is the Famous gone from the CTs, now just down to pistols.
It is, and it's going to be so tough to retake the site. The bomb will be going down here. And look at potentially a 15-14 scoreline. Nuki being forced back with that Molotov. Chris J pushing through upper as well, getting smoked, flashed, anything they could possibly throw at him. And looks like he will push the smoke. You're going to drop down as well, and he will be killed. Strux picks up that one. Alu, Legia coming in from the backside, straight through a smoke here. Charlie picks up one, looking to pick up a second, but he gets dropped by Legia, or by Alu. Now on a 1-on-4 here, he will be killed as well. And Planet Key now on the penultimate round here, or the end round, as we come into number 30.
Words are hard.
Yeah,
and look at the money situation for the CTs. They've got nothing to work with.
They don't. And he's Chris J. He has an M4, has a diffuse kit, head armor as well. Some sitting on those 5.7s and a P250. This would be stupendous if they can pull this one back. And they're going to be aggressive yet again.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to be and try and catch him out. But saying that, they've been trying to catch him out the whole way through this and not really working. PKD on that T side. Stunning, stunning stuff. And to get the first map like this over mousesports would be huge. And again, we've seen the power of the pistols. That's not underestimated just yet, and mousesports certainly able to wield them at this point. However, with 1 minute and 14 left, the T side yet to gain really much ground here. And look at Legisia's position. Pushed quite aggressively forward. He could possibly catch a couple out, sneakily hopping up. The vast majority, bearing in mind, still are in these underpass tunnels. Looking for this, and slowly but surely Stavros, last time he did this, he did get the whole way behind them. He could possibly do it again, but I don't think the T's want to take that long with this.
Well, 45 seconds to go. He's still working his way. There's no one even to stop him. Look at this. They've already all rotated towards this B site here. Lex going to open up the site for the first kill. Gets it on to Chris J, and that has given them potential this B site.
It certainly has. Bearing in mind Stavros still on the way around, but Alex finds a double, keeping this one going. Alu tucked in on the bomb site himself. Does at least get one, but goes down immediately afterwards, and now two left standing, Legisia and Nuki. Legisia on the site, takes the bomb away from the T side, and now Nex in a 1v1. Nex knows where Nuki is, but who's going to get the shot? And it's Nuki, 15-15. mousesports saving it at the last second.
Wow, and remember what they had in that one as well. They were sitting on pistols and an M4, and you can see how happy mousesports are about being able to pull that one back. But to go into overtime now is going to be interesting to see how exactly Planet Key plays this on the CT side, to see how mousesports plays it on the C side. I did not expect this to go into overtime with the way Planet Key was able to find with first of all, the first half alone, the scoreline that we had of 9-6 for mousesports, but then for Planet Key to just completely dominate the T side. Such a close game between these two teams, and really showing how matched they are.
Yeah, this is phenomenal to watch. The guy in the orange jacket has a lot of skins on this game, clearly, mostly towards mousesports, the way he's getting into this one. And these guys really looking for the win here. Mousesports maybe needing a little bit more time to adjust into this one. They haven't had the strongest of CT sides, but they get to go on the T side now, and as you said, see what they can bring.
Oh, this is going to be tough here, and Orange guy even giving them a little bit of advice. Like, come on, I got like 7 Asimovs on this, man. You can do it. You can do it. I want my skins. And even, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, well, that's your Twitter. So, as you can see, him just trying to root them on.
EU.
Dude, I have to produce, cast, graphics, everything. It's tough.
Yeah, you don't do any of them well, so don't worry about it. All right, so overtime.
Should we talk about... Yes, you're right. Because we can.
Correct. Okay, so PKD will be on the T side. CT side will be mousesports. And let's follow Nuki's smoke for the fun of it. Whee! And we are going to get into overtime.
You're just doing that because you can.
I know, pretty much. I love that feature. It's fantastic. It has, however, put Steel out of a job, which is pretty upsetting. You know what I mean?
Was his thing. That was
his thing. You know, and everyone's now like, "Oh, that's a great feature, Valve. Well done." It's like, no love for Steel. Poor guy. Anyway, into overtime we go. How's this looking so far?
Well, PKD going to play it as slow as they've been able to do just prior here. But remember, sitting on the money that they have, they can start off with. Trouble with the op in hand yet again. And which is weird because Alex was running the op in their first best of 3. So maybe Trebly with like an executive decision like, no, I'm going to run it. I know how mousesports play. And honestly, he's proven it because he's had some phenomenal shots on the Chris J. And he might have another one here to get Chris J gets the better from this time. Now does give him that man advantage here. The bomb is down as well, but I don't think Chris J necessarily spotted out. But look at this. There's 3 men pushing long. They're going to catch PKD out.
Yeah, certainly pushing up a fair way. The aggression from Mouse is great. They are controlling the map as much as possible at this point. And Legesia very close to going for a peek out here, but Alu doing the job with the op. And with this sort of money, bearing in mind, Mouse barely got to this point with this much money beside them to ever be able to run the double AWP. So certainly changing the meta here. And around the backside, Legesia hunting down 3 of the T players. If they can merely slow them down, he'll be in for a great set of kills. He does take down 1. Going for a second, he gets it, and Tabson's nade will find the 3rd player, which was next. So, first round in overtime going to mousesports.
All right, so great start by them. We are having, I want to see 5 rounds on each side. We need to hit 21 if you want to be able to pick up the win here. And like you're saying, that's a really good point, mentioning that, you know, Alu and Chris J never really had the opportunity to run double ops, but with the start money, they are. And we just saw Alu lock down the B site. Chris J being aggressive, getting the kill on a Trouble as well. And Legesia pushing straight into the door. Oh, he has 2 men off to his right. He might be able to pick this up. Nice flashbang going to come out right in Troubly's face here. And he'll pick up an easy frag. Looking for the second one as well. Onto the man right behind him. Not to mention the men in water as well. Going for the same flash a second time. The smoke going to come in. And he will force Strux back. He will pick up the kill before going down. And that will now be a 3-on-3 here. As you can see, next to get the kill into Alu. Nuki now pushing around as well. They know where the bomb just was. And if they want to get the bomb towards B, they have to run right by him.
Let's see. Who would you rather? Nuki or Chris J? They're going to have to make their mind up soon. B looks as though the side they want to hit. Chris J just needs to hold this for a touch longer. Here's the plant going down, but Alex is just off in the distance. And I think Chris J may be aware of that to an extent as Nuki waits to start pushing through behind as well. Spots out 1, gets down next. Will he expect Stavros? I think he knows now as Chris J starts to push in as well. 2v2, bringing it down to 1v1s on both sides. Ooh, Chris J just missing that shot off of Nuki, still battling it out. But if Chris J picked that up, he could have supported, but he can't. And now 1v2, Nuki might have the time just for this.
He does have a kit. He might have to go straight in for the defuse, though, and he does not stick it, and that's going to be the round here for Alex picking up the kill. PKD tying things up yet again, but mousesports were able to force them to lose all their guns at the end of things, but as you can see, a lot of money to spend. Not that big of a deal for them. And Trouble this round, not going for an op. Alu going to re-op up again. Chris J as well. So this is going to be a little bit tough. Last time, Planet Q tried to push in towards any of the sites against a double op. They were completely shut down.
And it's funny to see them playing so differently now in overtime. Last time they just left Alex to sit by that kind of, I don't even coil almost, just behind them.
It's like a spool.
Yeah. However, this round, they're all kind of focusing towards B, and it's a complete switch up of playstyle. It's very different. It looks like they're going to go for a cheeky boost here, quite possibly. It was Troubly there. Looking over, he actually could catch a glimpse of Alu. Spots him out, fluffs the shot. Troubly, you had the complete opportunity there, and last time they got spammed through the wall because of that, but not working out here. And Legesia applying pressure from the backside.
Soko coming again. Alu picking up a double on Alex and to next as they pushed in through sewer. Gets the bomb down as well. And look at this, gonna have a 3rd man to his belt here as he picks up Strux. Now Troubly in a 1-on-5, trying to save the gun it seems, or maybe to try to push in through sewer where the bomb is. And he will slowly make his way through here, but only to his death with the flashbang out. Actually, the shot going to be missed here. And Troubly will eventually fall to Alu, who picks up 4 and gives mousesports a round lead now in the first half of overtime.
And that's why I love watching Alu AWP. Like, I'm surprised we didn't see him much more. He's such a good AWPer in these situations. 24 kills already. Big play for him. And, well,
just looking at the scoreboard, we have Nuki at 26 and 19. Tabson at 30 and 21. And on the other side, there's no real standout player for them. They're all performing really well on PKD's side. But Alu at 24-21, but having so many big kills with that op has netted them quite a few rounds here. As you can see, Chris J again push up through sewers, or restroom. Will miss the shot right there and get taken down now. The 65 HP, but it looks like he'll be able to back away. There will be one man to contest him over towards the side, and Chris J gets it better. Stavros, but Trouble gets the kill and taps him. Legija's got to be careful. Maybe one man flanking him from the back. Chris J, oh, he's pushing back up in a restroom. This guy to his right, but Noki coming in with support, gets the kill, and then unfortunately, next it does secure it right back on the Chris J, and Noki now all alone at the A site. Yeah,
in a bit of trouble here, but the bomb is down. I'm not sure if he's fully aware of that, but he might be now, as no push came from the T's, and bearing in mind how far out Alex is going to come around the back of Legija, and it's such a backwards map sometimes. You get to go right around the opposition, and little do they know, Legija is still lurking around here. The other two split between the sites, I believe. Yeah, Alu's still on B. I can't believe they haven't spotted out that Legija is right behind them. I think next knows there might be someone around there that, you know, by this time, why is no one peeking us? Why is no one pushing? Well, probably because there's someone waiting right behind you. Alex does take down Legija. That might spur them on towards this A site as Nuki waits patiently, but next catches a glimpse. Oh, but where's Alu in all this? Is a 2v1. Nuki buying time. Alu on the rotate now. He's got 2 players to fight. Oh, he just falls off the ledge, goes up the beacon, gets shot back to the ground by Nex. And 3 kills for Nex that round, tying it all up 17-17.
All right, so going in the last round, the first half of our first overtime. Could potentially be more. And look at the side. Nuki sitting there with the M4. 2 ops yet again. An auto sniper for Legija as well. And on the other side, Trouble. It's on Tech 9, but they will eventually give him over an op. So Gray double up themselves. Alex picking up one. Trouble going for one as well. Trying to meet this double sniper combo that they're up against. This is going to be tough, though. Legija with the auto sniper. It's finding one just yet, but Trouble gets the better of Chris J yet again. Alex gets the better of Alexa, so 1-for-1 trade. But they now know there's no one at B. And they're pushing this one hard from the backside here. Legija trying to hold on to the push. Gets the kill to Nex. And might... he'll just back away instead of expecting that second man to push in. But now 3-on-4 here with a minute 15 remaining. This is going to be tough, but the hit looks like it will be coming in towards this A site.
Yeah, and Legija knew that one. He was waiting there with Stavros pushing forward. 2 now in the bag for Legija. 2 left for the T side to push in. Already having Nuki edging closer. I'm not sure if Strug's actually noticed that, but the AWP has been spotted. You can't shoot through that, Legija. It doesn't matter though, he's baited. Strug's in towards the site, and now Trubley left in a 1v4.
That will do it here for the first half. mousesports taking a lead 18-17. As I was going to be switching sides now. And, you know, for every half so far we've had, the T side's been doing better until the overtime, until we had the double up setup out of Alu and Christian, like you mentioned before. So now coming to the second half here with PKD going on the CT side, I'm a little bit worried for them. To me, mousesports looked a little bit stronger on T side in terms of execution, but PKD, this is going to be a really tough one to at least even things back up again.
Gotta wait and see what they can do. It's all down to these guys. Nice bit of starting money, and we are seeing straight up an auto sniper being bought. That's a bit cheeky. I don't know how that's going to go through. We'll wait and see what they can bring to this one. As you said, 17-18. mousesports just about leading, and Mouse now up on that T side, looking to change this one through. Let's see what they can do here. 1 minute 33 to bring the A game, and we're seeing Stavros heading out towards long, but a very different start from the T side this time around.
Remember, guys, this is only our first map here in the best of 3 of the grand finals of that winner's season. We'll have coming up second will be Dust 2, and a third map, if we do need it, will be Mirage. And right now, both these two teams fighting on PKD's choice of Overpass, trying to get that map lead. And right now, mousesports taking their time. Legija holding from a different spot than we saw Alex doing before. By those spools, actually just sitting inside of sewers towards that water side. And the bomb's still down towards spawn here, but slowly making their way through. 50 seconds to go. And there's 2 men stacked towards long. This could be perfect for them. That's a really weird cross to have. Like, Stavros watching behind Nex watching behind Stav. And yet, it might be able to net him a kill or 2. You can see Nuki walking straight into this.
Let's see how this one goes. Nex has to land that shot here. And he's going to do just that. Takes down Nuki. And that's the opener coming out for the CT side. But it's going to spur on the push once again towards the B side. And it's not gone well for the Ts. They're going to get met on the doorstep as Chris J finally takes down Strugs. But there's 2 players still present on the site. 2 more rotating. And the players on the side are doing the damage well enough. Tabson en route as well. Chris J gets another. mousesports still in this 2v2 here. The rotator's going to have to pick this one up. The kind of 2 are on that unique crossfire earlier on. The boost does come through. Stavros finds one, and now Tabs in 1v2.
All by himself here, watching from short. Here's them both pushing through the side. Next gets the kill, and that will tie things up now. PlanetKey, mousesports, 18 apiece here. Next picking up 2 kills. A little bit of a cheeky play that we saw towards long as well was interesting to see. This game coming down to the wire. This is only our first map again to reiterate from earlier on in this best of 3.
Yeah, this could be double overtime at this rate.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, me neither. This could be very much on for double. We are still seeing one AWP being run by mousesports. I've got to say to you, I've been preferring Alu on the AWP to Chris J this time around. Just personal preference on this, but it looks like they fancy it and see what they're going to be going for here. It will be a bit of a quite an aggressive start, pushing straight in towards that B site, getting some good grounders. Strugs does get a little closer, gets cover from that mid door, and now waits.
Beautiful nade.
It was very pretty. Chris J finds Strugs. That might give away a touch of the plan here for the T-side of mousesports as they are edging in towards the bomb site. There are still 2 players present. Troubly being one, Alex being the other. And the auto sniper at this sort of position can really, really bring the damage.
You can see mousesports now nading down a little bit here as they do rotate towards the A site. How many men are to defend it? Stavros here by bathrooms, going to spot out Legishi, comes around the corner, and he will get the better of him. But there's 2 more men there to defend against. And Tasman will finally secure the kill here. So the push on A, it's going to happen. Smoke's coming in. Next off to the side could be a pivotal point here of this game as he gets a kill onto the planter. And now 27 seconds to go here. As long as he pick up a couple more kills, he has the bomb on his side of the smoke as well. And Christian will be taken out by Troubly. Next secures a second. And all by himself, it gets picked up by Nex, who picks up now his 3rd kill of that round. PlanetKey take the lead here and are now 2 rounds away from securing themselves this first map.
Very hard fought for map as well. These guys are having to go all the way through here, 19 to 18. PlanetKey Dynamics really pulling out a stellar performance. Now they made it to the CT side. I need to see more. I need to see how well they play this one through. I wanted to see that real aggressive push down towards B and that auto sniper to come into play, and maybe I'll get my wish if it keeps going towards this extent as Alex waits. A couple of players pushing up aggressively though. Troubly does find Alu early on, so a bit of a if you can do it, we can do it as well aggressive play, but it looks as though the push is starting to build, but Alex gives away a little early. And he's got the auto sniper. The mollies come out, stop him pushing. And now mousesports sent packing just a touch.
Remolling up that entrance here. You can see them all coming from short side though. Even a little bit of a boost it seems. You see a couple of shots being fired from a couple of different directions. Chris J picks up the kill on Alex. I think Yuja hasn't been spotted out just yet here, but Stavros picks up the kill on Anoki. Strux trying to see what he can do here. He's going for Chris J onto short. Gets him very low. Gets the kill as well. And I'll give him a 4-on-2 man advantage here. They could be on map point after this. They are so damn close to making this happen. And Leguja and Tabsim, 35 seconds left to work with here. And look at this. PKD are rotating off of B.
Could be a big mistake. And Leguja looking like he wants to punish it as well.
Strux sticking around though. And he's going to be in a 1-on-2. Let's get some backup from his teammates. And he knows this bomb is being pushed. Potentially being planted here. Troubly spraying through the smoke. Doesn't get the kill here, but Strux does secure one. Now 15 seconds left to go. Strux can be killed from the side of Leguja. And a 1-on-2 will be taken out by Nex as he goes for the plant. And here we go. Map point now for PKD. mousesports have to win this if they want to keep their hopes alive of map number 1.
Well, they've got a lot of money to work with here. AK throughout, excluding Chris J, who does opt for the AWP. And let's see how this one pans out for the T-side. mousesports really needing to get this to then take it again to a double overtime, but the plays towards B have been halted by this man, Alex. Whether or not he gets the kills necessarily, the presence of that auto sniper is just so strong. I'm not too surprised to see these guys switching up with a bit of play possibly towards that B-bomb site. A-bomb site. Words are hard. Still, 1 minute left. The double stack on that long route towards 8 could cause them some real trouble here.
It could here, and Troubly just looking for that shot. If he can shut down Chris J, that would be huge for them. It might be enough to actually kick him off into Dust 2 with a 1-map lead. But either way, 50 5 seconds left to go here. mousesports taking their time. And all even pushing through stairs here. Nookie pushed up through the bathroom. We'll spot out Trelly, but unfortunately the guy behind him gets taken down here. Trelly going to go for the repeat, misses the shot, and evens things all back up here at 4-4.
Yeah, but look at Stavros, once again pushed up. I'm curious if Nookie actually checks this corner. He does, and gets him down half HP.
Looks like Stavros will get the better of him, though, and you can see 30 seconds left to go on the clock here. Stavros shutting down that long push. Alu looking towards that side. Chris J pushing towards B with the bomb, it seems. And he's going to go for the retake by himself. This is going to be so difficult to do. He will have one man off the back towards Barrels. Picks up the kill on the Strux. And now he's actually clean for a plant right now. He's in a 1-on-3 situation. Going to smoke up as well. Look towards Arbor. Look towards anyone pushing him. But now with 8 seconds left to go, he has to go for the plant. He will get it down. But can he maintain from the guy pushing short? And he will be dropped here. Planet K now is going to pick up their first map here now in this best of 3. And go on to, obviously, Dust 2 a little bit later on. See if they can close it out in 2.
Yeah, really big moment there for PKD. Nicely done to them. Really needed that as well. The overtime for them just seemed to work really well. Very pleased to see how well they were doing throughout this.
All right, we can see they're obviously celebrating this one and obviously enjoying the moment that they were able to pull that one back after having such a unfortunate CT side. But they look strong. They look like they were having a good time. And obviously now mousesports going to take a little bit of time to think things over. I'm just going to have a little bit of a break here if they do kick it off onto Dust 2 and see exactly what they're going to do for that one. Obviously, that's the map that they're choosing, so you would expect them to be prepared for it. That's us.
I prefer the other guys. They look much better. You'd assume so, but I feel this is going to go to all 3 maps now. I think mousesports are very strong on Dust 2. I think it's one of their strong home maps. I would not expect them to lose it. Then again, you know, that was a lot closer than I expected. I thought that PKD would win that faster on that map in a way.
Yeah.
So I feel that the second map should be even quicker in a way for mousesports. They should be able to stomp that one through if it works out the way I expect. So I think 3 maps. We're going to have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to head to a quick little break here. But when we come back, like Lauren was just saying, Dust 2 kicking off between mousesports and Planet Dynamics. Don't go anywhere.